instead of Namia for this round. I'm wondering how exactly he chooses to play with it instead, or why it is they choose to switch that over. Actually choose to go away from it after the reveal phase. They use it as a fear factor and then switch over to Glaz.
As you say, there would have been a lot of pressure on Shepard there coming in with the blitz once you've got Namir on your team who's not using him. I think unless you get a triple kill at least, you're going to have questions to answer. So seeing an Armory Lockers hold first of all, not too much of a surprise there. We've got the Maestro just being placed up on top. That's going to be very difficult to clear out. That's actually a really interesting location, as you said there. You know, to take that out with nades is going to be difficult. You're going to have to be very accurate with your nade throw, and to get up there with sledge and take it out also very difficult. So possibly just a job for Ash there, but without seeing it, you know, it could be done from the window, I suppose, but certainly not straightforward, that one.
Yeah, that's for sure. This is going to be a tough defense as well here now, even with that lack of mirror, because the Glaz is so incredibly powerful in this specific map. He's such a strong operator in general, to be fair, but now that he's here, he'll be one they have to look out for. But as you say as well, Maestro is in the field for defense and can potentially be used as a counter to that Glaz. If the cameras are in the right place, he can of course see straight back through the smoke into Glaz's direction. They might be able to use that in their favour if they get a bit lucky.
Yeah, get the ping on him and just make it easy. You know, you never want to peek Glaz, and you certainly don't want to try and challenge him through smoke. But if you can get a clear ping on him, that can be a different situation. But out comes Badger with the run out from detention. Double kill, picking up Shockwave, and Eden taking Capitao and Ash off the board early days before Namia gets in and gets the trade onto Badger. But I'm sure given the opportunity before this started, he would have taken that double kill for his life. So 3 versus 3 now.
That's a big play and an interesting mistake in part from Edenity to let it happen, at least let him get 2 kills. The Ash had all the time in the world to trade him back, but good position from Namia to get it afterwards and bring him to a 3v3. It is unfortunate the disconnect, of course, for the defending side of Boost, but thanks to that run out, they at least get even numbers for now.
Attackers have located a
slow
bomb.
push comes in from Edenity along this west balcony. They do have the wall opened up, but of course it's a small hole thanks to it only being a banner option. Maestro gets a tag onto Glaz out through that hole. It's a lot of damage, in fact. Of course, he won't know exactly how much. And now the drones are coming in to try and find where the other players are, while Maestro stays pinned inside that corner.
The LMG there, as you commented earlier, just allowing him to get that damage on. I think he's quite happy with that large mag size to just pop up, fire a few bullets down, and then pop back down. He knows he's not going to have to reload. It's quite easy to take those chances. But in comes the Lion now onto site, and Namir will get the kill onto Curve, so that leaves us 3 versus 2, and I'm sure Edenity will be thinking about moving up and getting a plant down here. Out come the shots, and that will just prevent the plant from Sully, but then they start to get it down again. Shepard on the Overwatch, but Kayak comes in with a double kill, picking up Namir as well, and that will leave Diffuser down, and Karzeka now in a quick swing around has it all to do. 1 versus 2, and he's against the Jaeger and the Legion, so the Legion, I'm sure, will, if possible, have put a goo mine onto that Diffuser, which will notify them as soon as Karzeka moves in. Is he going to be able to do this as he starts to peek through that hole? He's got plenty of time, but that was a bad throw on the stun grenade. He moves in, shots come through the wall onto him, just giving one of the locations away, but he's still struggling. Here comes the Gooman, and Kayak moves in for the final kill, and that will give Boost, even with a man short, the first round. Fantastic plays there.
Yeah, very nicely done indeed. I couldn't quite see where the Maestro cameras were, but I have a feeling there was one of them looking over that Diffuser as well. As you say, the Legion Mine didn't quite make it all the way to the Diffuser itself. There was one on the corner, but they still seemed to play as if they had an idea for it and know where he was and what he was doing. And then, of course, they had that push through from the small armory room, that the shots from across that tagged him up as he first came in from Legion. And then, yes, Kayak playing close on the bomb. Just there to hold it out, wait for him to use up a lot of his rounds, and then push the second time through. Of course, with that 2v1 situation and him forced to plant, they could afford to play it very slow and careful, and then, of course, secure the first round, despite, as you say, the man disadvantage.
So good first round from Boost there to take the defensive round. They will of course play 5 defensive rounds in a row, followed by 5 attacking rounds. And as we can see there, Kayak and Badger getting the kills for their team, with Nemia the only one to get any kills on the Edenity team. And isn't this always the case? We come into a map expecting a team to be dominant, and I know we're only 1 round in. Edenity have got plenty of time to go yet, but we've seen them very, very good on attack so far, and that one just fell apart a little bit. They lost a couple of men early on to that run out, and then all 3 tried to sort of push that same armory side. It allowed, I think that allowed Boost just to focus on the armory lockers push. They knew that nobody was coming from officers, and I think that was basically all she wrote on that. They just held their angles and waited for the plant attempt.
Yep, perfectly handled defense, especially once you get down to those final cube. So nicely done from them. Now, as we head into the next round, we see the alibi from Badger. He was the pulse before, but Citizens picked that one up. Interesting to see them switch it around. Wonder why that is. Citizen, of course, was here for the picks, so it's not like they gave it up after Citizen DC. He was here for the operator selection. So I am curious to see what it is. They may, of course, just want to do it for the sake of unpredictability, right? You've seen one Pulse play and you've seen him do one thing, so you expect him to do the same thing again, perhaps, but with a completely different player on it, he thinks differently and handles it differently.
And we have got the alibi with us today, so that will be an interesting addition to this round, something that we've not seen previously. So let's see if we can get any joy there, but maybe Badger coming in with the first kill onto Joystick. Nice headshot there, taking the Ash off the board, so that could leave some barbed wire and other utility in place that Ash might otherwise have cleared. And Sully will, however, lose one of his Echo drones at least. I think he has got another just watching one of the bomb sites there, and out comes that alibi placement into officers just to try and prevent movement through there and just gain any intel possible.
Yeah, it's Spot being then ready to sit back and delay.
That's it at the minute.
Yeah, she's got those alibi things in the doorway and say they won't obviously get her a kill. It's not like they're going to shoot that and she's immediately, oh, I know where they are, and wallbang through. It's not going to really stop it, but they can't go through that space without killing their gadget. It works the same as a Claymore now. They can't get their way through there without making her aware by either shooting it and making noise, or by triggering it and having themselves be marked. And there we go. They shoot the first one, the noise is there, and she's looking in the right direction now. She knows there's at least one person in that angle. She doesn't quite land the shots that she needs to, and is lucky to be alive, to be fair, with the 2 guns and the ACOGs traded that way, but she's wasting more time, and that's what's important. And has that hatch to fall back to safety as and when she chooses to use it.
As you say, all about intel there, and either you get marked or you give away your position. So just looking for the push now. We've got 5 versus 4 in favour of Boost. Boost still doing very well here. Shockwave getting the kill onto Badger, so that will even up the man count and take the alibi off the board. But that alibi has wasted a good 2 minutes of the round there before Edenity have just got top floor control, which I think they have now achieved. And Sully is going to be repositioning his drone to try and be in the most effective spot should this plant attempt come down. And shots will come in from Shepard on the Zephyr, but will not be able to down Kayak there, putting some damage on, I think, but Kayak's still upstairs on the roam, and just looking to see. Shepard's going to be challenging now. I think they are going to be coming together. He knows that he's there. Is that from drone in? Yes, I think it probably was. He moves in and gets the kill onto Kayak, so that leaves 4 versus 3 in favour of Edenity.
And they do get the quick push forward on the plant. The Pulse picks up 2 kills. Citizen gets Shockwave and Shepard. Namia, though, trades back onto Sully. Karzeka's trying to get into the site to help his team, but the timer has hit 0, and the round will be gone. Edenity, I don't know whether they're overconfident or what, but they're pushing rumors in CCTV while at the same time pushing the site and trying to plant, and they're not playing together right now. They're not a group. I feel like they need to, as we said the other day, have one of those step back, take a breath moments, look at themselves, and come back in a moment, because they are not a cohesive 5-man unit right now.
No, so we will see a very similar lineup with the addition of Blackbeard this time for Edenity, and they are certainly going to be looking to quickly stop this bleeding because they do not want to be losing their attacking phase, I'm sure. This is their pick of map and they're going to be looking to get in there. So sixth pick just bringing Ying to the board, and no sixth pick utilised on the defensive side of Boost. I think they're feeling pretty confident at the minute.
I think they are, as you say. They win that first round with a man disconnected, with a very powerful two-man run-out as well. For the boss. That's going to make you feel good right from the start. Then they win that second round, a site which they won largely on roamers, to be fair. Their actual site defense was never really tested. They've got to be feeling great, especially, say, coming back in to defend this upstairs site, a site which they had already won with a player down. That player now is in and onto Ella again. Pulse has been handed over to Badger once more, so it's clearly a site selection as to why they switched operators. This is Badger's site to play it, and Citizen plays it when they're downstairs. And we also have Maestro back. So we'll see whether or not they fare as well here as they did the last time around.
Team Boost, as you say, just changing up the operators, not a massive amount, but just a couple each time. They've got the Pulse there, they've got the Jaeger and the Legion there again, but out goes Alibi, in comes Maestro. We've got Ella for the first time as well. Like you say, again, it just keeps Edenity guessing. You know, they can't plan for anything. I think that's something that Boost are doing very well so far, but obviously they've still got their game to play this round, and let's see if they can hold them off again and take this, you know, at the point where they take it 3-0, they've already guaranteed themselves the win on their defensive phase at least, and then they're going to be going into their attacking phase in an advantage, so I'm sure they're going to be very keen to take this. Shockwave though coming in with the first kill onto Citizen. That will be the Ella off the board, and I'm pretty sure that will have been one of the roamers. Badger just on the Pulse there, picking up the heartbeat of Joystick just on the rappel and trying to get the wall bang. Joystick though getting the kill onto Sully, so that will leave us in a 5 versus 3 in favour of Edenity very early, and I don't think the Blackbeard's aware that he's got somebody just on the other side of that window barricade. In come the shots, but Kayak will trade back. Few missed shots from Kazeka there, just allowing Kayak on the Jaeger to actually get the kill onto him.
Yeah, it's rookie mistakes on that front. Kayak is low, but still going to be unsure. They still have the man advantage on the attack though, but it won't last if Joystick continues. Sorry, Joystick gets that, he can keep stretching it out. The C4 is there, doesn't get to blow it though. That Badger will fall. Joystick gets in with a pistol right before it goes off. Kayak still in sight, is now trying to avoid the drone while being very aware that the push may come his way. Concussion though will go off and actually slows down their own attack here as Shepard hits himself with it. Kayak right on top of the hatch, knows that he needs to drop away, does it as soon as the flashbangs come in, knows that's his last chance to get on out. Curve on Maestro goes into hiding, but Kayak's been picked off by Joystick through the hatch inside the site. Curve does get one down, but Shockwave on the window will pick him off as he falls back into the room, and that's more like it. Identity there looked more like a team. They were all pushing the site together, they were all pushing from very similar angles, they all covered and crossfired each other's pushes. They didn't let each other get distracted by roamers and running around to other portions of the site.
Could not agree more. Much more like the Edenity that we used to see in there. And as you can see, those kills just sneaking up across the board now, winning the gunfights. We've got 3-3-3 at the top, so Shockwave, Namir and Joystick all on 3 kills. There's Shepard now on 2 as well. So will that be the confidence that Edenity are looking for? We're seeing a similar lineup coming, exactly the same in fact. So they've obviously taken some confidence from that, and they're going to be assaulting the same site with Armory Lockers and Archives. Let's see if we get any 6th pick changing.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one. So far, the 6th pick changes we've seen haven't really made big impacts in the round. We'll see whether they do this time. Remember, Sully thinking about it. He goes from Legion to Smoke, to very similar operators. But Smoke, of course, allows them to do a little bit more in terms of destruction and site control when it comes to actually holding the site itself. And preparing it for other people's use. So we'll see whether he uses that shotgun to do just that. We also have Badger moving away from the Pulse this time and onto Alibi as well.
So for the first time we will see Alibi and Maestro played together. Not two ops that really directly combine, but still interesting to have them on the board at the same time and see what combinations can be brought together, as you say. Maybe using the Alibi to funnel the attackers into a certain approach, which is then covered by Maestro cams. Who knows? We'll see how they do it. As you say, that 6th pick bringing in Smoke, who performs a very similar function to Legion in controlling where and when pushes can be made, but maybe just a little bit more directly, and whereas Legion's got the option of, you know, controlling 2 or 3 routes possibly. Smoke is generally focused on 1. But moving forward then, we have got Joystick on the Ash. He's going to be rushing in. I don't know if he's going to be switching back onto his drone or whether somebody's droning in for him, but we haven't really seen too much of a rush meta yet. We've not seen any quick attacks from Edenity. It's all been quite well considered so far, I think.
Yeah, they have definitely been slightly slow and methodical about it. So apart from the first 2 rounds, which they were slow and methodical and they droned and they led for each other, but they just did it in like 2 separate units, so to speak, in that slow movement. So now we want to see them do it as a 5-man, and that's what they did the round before and came out with a win for it. So I'm sure they're going to feel good about it. Shockwave on that window. Sully feeling confident enough to challenge him. Neither of them do any damage to the other, but definitely makes that Blackbeard think twice about staying on the window, that's for sure.
Horrible angle if Blackbeard can hold it, especially with that DMR combo. A lot of people questioning the power of that Blackbeard DMR combo at the minute, but yeah, whilst it's there, I'm sure it will be used to full advantage, and they now know that Alibi is in here. Will Badger be able to come out of this one alive? Gets super flashed, and Nemir moves in and gets the kill. So that's Ying of Nemir just using those Candelas to full effect to clear out one of those roamers, and down goes the Claymore at the top of East Stairs. So that could be a potential problem for Kayak on the Jaeger, just trying to rotate back up there with Nemir operating in that region as well. And here comes the push from the officer's side now.
They are trying to hit Banner the wall open, but Citizen's there with the Bandit to battery trick it away. That's all the charges gone. It might be 1 left, but it's not enough to make a hole in the wall. Kayak has Claymores doubly on the top of the stairs to cover him, but he was spotted on his way. Oh, but Shepard peeked it. Kayak was aware. He was holding the angle and gets the kill all the same. Gazeka goes out to check if the trade push was coming in, but he hasn't killed the Claymore, so he will rotate back down. He's going to go play under the site and use the open hatch instead. Edenity having trouble now, though, because they can't get through the wall, and the smoke charges are being used to hold them out the doors. Blackbeard is on the installation outside. Joystick is still the one forced to watch the flank at the moment. He's watching the main corridor as Citizen, thinking about coming that way. But as he looks away, Citizen's inside the peak. Now, ooh, Namir on Ying peeks it, Crouch peeks it and gets away with it. Citizen in the head. This might be helping them out here for attack now, as they have the man advantage, but they only have 20 seconds to go. They're going to have to start their charge. Joystick gets across the door. Shockwave is inside. They're watching the camera, but it's bulletproof from this side. They have to shoot the front edge. Shockwave's now in. He's looking for smoke on the inside. There's one on the far side of the site. Maestro, he gets that headshot, and he gets the kill onto Sully, but the planter gets stopped from Kayak below. He looks to stay there, but he should have moved. Joystick easily comes in and trades him afterwards. That could have been the kill that saved the round, simply on time wasting alone. But they spotted him and killed him, and somehow, from the seconds away from defeat, Edenity do pull that out of the bag.
Yeah, a little bit surprised there. I mean, Edenity, we always know that they've got the capability to pull it out of the bag, but I honestly thought that that thermite ban was going to hurt them then. Hibana just so much easier to bandit trick. You've got you've got an awful lot of time, so unless you've got somebody challenging bandit and forcing him out of the way, awfully difficult. Once that thermite charge is started, you pretty much, unless your bandit's going down within the first half a second, you're pretty much safe then. So I really thought that lack of access to site was going to hurt them, especially with the 6th pick out to smoke, and he just started smoking that doorway off. But that said, great plays from Shockwave on the Blackbeard to pick those 2 kills up and just spur his team on towards the end there, allowing, as you said, that mistake from Kayak. He gets the 1 kill, great, stopping the defuse. He then needs to move away and just keep himself alive, give him the opportunity to fight if the diffuser does go down after that point, but he remains and challenges it, and that just allows, I think it was Joystick, to move in and get that final kill.
So Back onto an even scoreline then goes both teams. Edenity, as you said, definitely took that breather, took that second look at things and realized they need to take this a little bit more seriously, which is a great sign, of course, for Team Boost. They are coming close to these rounds as well, though, so they don't need to change things up too crazy. They have gone with a switch up on the operators, though, to be fair, bringing Valkyrie in instead of the smoke. Kayak staying on the Jaeger. Doc is now being brought in. Sorry, Sully had the smoke. He's now on the Doc. Citizen, I forget who was on the previous round, but he's now with Valkyrie. And Badger has gone from the Alibi to Pulse again instead.
5 seconds left.
I feel like that's a lot of changes that didn't necessarily need to be made. Their hold was very close at the end there. They just had a couple of unfortunate deaths. Things like Citizen, who Bandit, that's who he was, peeking the main corridor and dying to Namia. Didn't need to happen when it happened. Kayak didn't need to push up that back stairs as aggressively as he did. He could have waited a bit longer. A few little things here and there that, with the same ops, it could have worked out just fine. Oh, but Badger doesn't want it to happen the same way again. Another quick spawn peek on Joystick. Takes him down at that window as he tries to rappel up. And that's a great start for the defense.
No, that's something that we saw from Joystick last time. If you remember, Pulse was just getting the heartbeat scan and tried to shoot through that soft wall, but this time instead just opted to jump out of the window instead, predicting that Joystick would go to that same rappel. So great plays there from Badger just to get his team into an early advantage. But interesting, yeah, what you say about the operator changes there. Sometimes it's a fine line, isn't it? You know, you want to keep the other team guessing, but equally you don't want to confuse yourself. You know, bring in 3 or 4 different operators every time. It can sort of make you, I think, confidence wise, make you feel like just nothing's working, and is it the operator choices that let you down and things like that. So sometimes it is better to just keep some consistency. But a lot of changes coming out again, and Sully though getting the kill, so that will be 3 versus 5 now, as we see Blackbeard go off the board, but Namia stepping up and trading that out with the kill onto Sully. He just spots the Maestro camera there, but there's nothing he can do about it with the window shut, and that leaves us with Doc off the board and 4 on 3 now.
They did zap it with the Twitch drone, so the camera is temporarily disabled, and they can perhaps use that to their advantage when they choose to push on in. They don't, of course, have to destroy it completely. There is now a big ass hole in the wall, though, as you saw that Desert Eagle being used to make it from Valkyrie, because she's got her C4 that she can throw up on over. Citizen now safe to sit where he is due to that Blackbeard being killed from the air conditioning units. There's also Pulse underneath, still using his heartbeat sensor to check for it, and of course can save the planters, save the diffuser and stop that happening when they try and get in. And it does look like Boost are happy to just sit back and wait for this push to come in. They've got the man advantage, they've got very, very strong positions, and I think they may just have this bag on round on lock.
Yep, as you say, just doing exactly what they need to do, and as you predicted there, in comes that Will. Oh, if he just detonates the C4 there, he gets the kill, but he gives Namie a chance to move away, and Badger just missing that opportunity there by getting his heartbeat scanner out. Sometimes nice to be sure, but sometimes you've just got to take the risk. Shepard with the kill onto Badger, but Citizen with a beautiful C4 toss to stop the defuse going down there, and that leaves us 2 versus 3, but Citizen will be down. Namie getting the kill, Shepard onto Citizen, and that leaves us in a 2 versus 1 with Namie coming in for the final kill onto Kayak. What about that?
I'm sorry, Boost. I feel like there's some cast a curse going on right there. I said they had it in the bag. I said they had it locked. And then all of a sudden, Namia steps up and just walks in with his gun in hand, mowing them down. Kayak with a well-timed flank, but he just couldn't land the shots that he needed to. Namia managed to flick around on him and still managed to cut him to pieces. What a huge play from Namia.
Something from the Wild West, like you say, just walking in, gun toting, just taking anybody down who dares show themselves. So Namia there moving on to 8 kills and taking the lead on frags there. Definitely a strong presence as always for his team. Karzeka, I think, just struggling a little bit more than usual tonight. He's usually picking up more of the frags, but I'm sure he's doing what his team need him to do, and that I think Edenity will be happy to have come out of that first 3-2. They went 2-0 down initially, they've then got 3 on the bounce, and can they carry that momentum onto defence now as we see a 6th pick come out, bringing Ying into the side. But other than that, we've got Legion Bandit, Ella Jaeger and Maestro. So very similar lineup to what we've seen Boost using for Edenity here.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
This is then the first defense opportunity, and having that round lead will make them feel much better going into it. They do, of course, have themselves the Maestro to play with. Not looking for as much C4 play from them, though. I don't think Nami is running it. I think he's got barbed wire, as he's one of the few people on the team that could be using it. And I think they're going to rely a little bit more on straight gun skill, which so far, shield in fact on joystick as well. Even less barbed wire. I do think they're going to rely a lot on holding this location from the looks of it by the double trophy systems going down. And they are, as they're coming out on top of these gunfights at the moment, they are straight winning the gun battles, so it's not a bad shout to make on their part.
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
Absolutely, that's definitely what we've seen so far has been great strategy from Boost, but like you say, just losing those gunfights, and I think that's something that's probably, that we've seen throughout the season really. So Glass just opening up the wall there and nearly getting a view for an early kill, but just I think Bandit it was just escaping with his life.
Oh!
Bad times as Curve gets the TK onto Sully, so that will take the Glaz off the board, and that loses them a lot of pushing power with not being able to watch from the distance on the balcony there.
Yeah, that's a big one too. Glaz out of the picture that early on. It's going to hurt them quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2 smokes and a potential plant watch, gone. So time to really start quickly thinking about your alternatives here. They do still have Ying available. So that's, a possibility to help with a plant. But the Glaz Ying combo is still something that is valid. I know it's not used as much, but if you get the smokes down and the Candelas come in, it can be very difficult short of a blind C4 toss to stop that. Even with the Maestro cams, it can still be tricky.
Yeah, however, thanks to the thermite ban, every battery is more valuable here, taking away the wall breaching opportunities of Hibana as she's using 1 and 2 charges. They do continue to free fire a couple of angles, Curve, but not going to be enough. Citizen, though, gets cut down. Citizen does cut down Nami, but Karzeka will trade Curve straight back with a long-range shot. And then downstairs, the pressure comes in from Joystick. He finds Kayak down there. They knew he was there. He was making holes through the floor, but unfortunately, Kayak coming out on the wrong end of Joystick's rifle. Joystick going for the run out. Badger heard it, but managed to get himself into cover just as Joystick gets his head around the corner. Got 2 attackers up though. They could make this work.
I think, as we've said there, another man lost to just straight up gun skill there as Kayak moves in. I have to think he knew that Joystick was there. He moved in sort of pre-firing, but while speaking, Shepard gets Citizen out of the picture, so that leaves Edenity in a very strong position here. 4 versus 1. Joystick will run out and get the final kill onto Badger, who was at the Archives window. Great first defending round for Edenity there.
Nice round for them then, as they lock that one in and put themselves 1 round away from match point. They, as we said, had a bit of a shaky start, but I think after a bit of a break and as a first couple of rounds into, say, the competitive mindset again, perhaps, that's to be forgiven. They've definitely found their groove now and are opening the floodgates and getting very confident with these runouts, with these big plays, with these aggressive jumps, as you say, downstairs. And with that battery trick from Bandit, of course, he had the safety of knowing Jaeger was downstairs, so he wasn't going to get shot from below, wasn't going to get blown up from below, at least without warning from the Jaeger first. And then the Jaeger comes out with a kill of his own Joystick before jumping outside for the final one as well. And of course, they were helped out a little bit with that team kill along the way.
Yeah, as we said, I think Glaz was an important part of that strategy there. A lot of the utility on that player to get the smokes down and then be able to overwatch any plant. So yeah, that was a very big moment. I think it was Curve who took him down, so I'm sure he'll be kicking himself. But that we see the 6th pick there with Shockwave coming in on the castle, so he's just going to look to... Will he see the Twitch drone?
Oh, he
there?
missed it.
Completely missed the Twitch drone, but I think it is just hidden in a little nook and
It's
sort of
hidden in the
cranny,
nook underneath it,
yeah.
and it's the elite skin, pay to win skin. So yeah, it's a tough spot to have. And if he was looking further down across the waiting room or further across the rooms, I think he's not going to be catching that in the corner there. So it's amusing, but I sympathise.
Looking then to hold the workshop location, we're going to have Karzeka with Ella upstairs. As always, you can see we've got 3 of Edenity actually upstairs here, so applying a lot of resource to stop an upstairs push, and it looks like it is going to be well spent. We are not going to see a push through detention as we have done previously, so the peaks coming out early, they're just peeking those walls there to make sure there's no run-outs, so they're playing that well. I'm sure that they're well aware of Edenity's prowess, particularly Karzeka on the run out here on border, but they are going to start on that roam clear, first of all taking control of East Stairs, which is exactly what we'd expect to see.
Double Claymore play once again. Make sure it's perfect in the right spot. No one expects to see a second one. Peek up, shoot the first one, run around the corner and immediately hit the second one. We'll see whether or not it works. We do, of course, have the Ash pressuring this front side. He pops a couple of shots across, just preemptively in. Looking for something, looking to keep them occupied and keep them focused on this way. He does see the Jaeger. Both of them missed the important shots though. Lion Charge will go off to keep them pinned in this side, and now they're forced to stand still as the attack starting to mount up through the archives location. So the 2 roamers that are up top are starting to get pinned in. There we go. Citizen finds Namia first. Joystick was also nearby, and Citizen spots him. He gets zapped by the Twitch drone before the bullets actually hit. Had to continue aggressively moving out as the Twitch drone keeps chasing him. Badger will keep his drone alive as they push aggressively forward. It's Hibana who will die. Joystick gets that kill, but he will be traded back by Citizen who pushes straight on in. Curve, meanwhile, taking out Karzeka elsewhere. Now there's only 2 defenders left alive.
Great run clear there from Boost, very patient. Ash just working in. I think it was Citizen on the Ash just working in from Armory Locker's double wall there. Didn't rush it, just waited on his time and then pushed when Hibana could support him, and you know that trade out was perfect to clear the second roamer out, so that gives them a man advantage now, 4 versus 2. They also have upstairs control, and we have got Castle and Smoke, Shockwave and Shepherd down on the objective now, and they have got it all to do to hold them out here. So Ying, Curve just looking to peek that stock room and try to clear out anybody that's in there. They're looking to just take control of the rest of the map now, and the shots will start coming in onto Castle. Don't do too much damage, but it just forces him out of his hiding place there and back into customs, and Badger will pick up Shockwave, so that leaves Smoke only on site, but Shepherd gets the first kill, switches to his shotgun. He's now got a 1 versus 3, surely time for Boost to think about a plant, but if he's patient here he will get a second kill with the shotgun. That leaves us 1 versus 2 as the plant is about to start going down. Shepherd still has it all to do, but so far so good. He sees him below, but he can't catch him on the reload. He then gets the kill. 1 versus 1. This could be a 1 versus 4 clutch here. He's on the defuse, but it is a fake, and Kayak moves in and very, very close, skin of his teeth, manages to stop the 1 versus 4 clutch.
That is so unlucky. Shepherd played it very, very well. He got in there, got a little bit lucky with the reload of the SMG-11 to stop and kill the planter. They saw exactly where Kayak then was. They had him on the camera, which, yes, he killed, but they saw him in it. They continued the push on through. He gets around there at the last second. The plant pull-off is there, and he's still mid-sprint when Smoke sticks his head out the corner, but the shots just couldn't quite land. Shepherd just not quite hitting them. And Kayak gets away with the kill by the skin of his teeth.
So close, as you say. You know, if that SMG-11 was already reloaded, maybe he stops the plant and he's in a slightly different situation watching a down diffuser. But you know, all said and done, he did a fantastic job, but Kayak just doing exactly what was needed for his team to move in there and get the kill. So are we going to see a 6th pick for Hibana going out here, which for a ventilation workshop push wouldn't be the end of the world. It just depends. Ooh, brings a Monty, so that could be a controversial pick depending on how this round goes. If the hatches here were reinforced, which I suppose it depends whether they play a heavy roam strategy upstairs. It could become quite difficult with not too much vertical access, but obviously the defenders won't know that, so it could be unlikely for them to defend, as you see, already opening them up, but they might just kick themselves when they realise there's no hard breach.
That's a very real possibility, but of course with the Hibana ban, Thermite ban and Hibana left, there's not many hard breach options to choose from, and so far in this game, almost everyone's Hibanas have been battery tricked to death. So maybe it's an intentional choice, going with no hard breach and opting to avoid it completely. They do, as you say, thankfully still have soft breach in Ash and Sledge for the castle barricades, but getting the right operators to the right places for those, not always easy.
Yeah, it would have been really interesting just to see those hatches reinforced this time and sort of, not necessarily give up top floor control, but just play your roamers around the stairs a little bit more so they're close by the rotations. You know, put up almost a pantomime defence of upstairs and then fall back after a minute or so, allow them to move in upstairs and realise very quickly that we've got no access to the downstairs floor here, we can't blow the hatches. But obviously without the prior knowledge of Hibana not being brought, very, very difficult to predict. Hindsight being a wonderful thing for us casters. So Monty now just moving straight in and aggressively down east stairs, and he's just going to check there to make sure there's no rotation coming from behind, and then he will move through to start working and finding these roamers.
Yeah, so not being able to breach the hatches will of course cause small issues to their rotating options, but they still be able to smash the floor open, so we have to see the holes through the floor and see the players below them, so that may well just be enough if they want to make it through there and do the damage they need to be through there. So not a complete waste to take this upper floor. Citizen starts things off though. We're taking down Karzeka. Great start for the attacking team then. Of course the attacking team here looking to close the gap. As once again he pushes from this front edge. Bandit peeks around. Jaeger almost steps into his fire that came from it as well. There's the aggressive peek though from Namir, and just before he gets detected he finds Citizen's head. Joystick, meanwhile, though, is distracted by firing the other way. Oh, I thought Kayak had seen Namir in there just as he ADS'd. He must have missed him. And Namir gets another one. Joystick's still got the Monty to contend with, but he knows he can go all the way back into CCTV now because Namir was in there and safe. Kayak is now making his way across after having finally killed Namir. He's now in the room. He does see the Joystick, but will get the kill. Joystick doesn't land a single piece of damage on him. Thankfully now, they have 3v2 advantage in favour of the attacking team. Oh, Kayak! Where did that come from?
Was a horrible quick peek over the balcony there, but 3 versus 1 in favour of Team Boost now, and they are definitely here to play, taking Edenity all the way on their own map. Shots now coming in on the last man, which is Shepherd on the smoke. We've already seen him almost pull off a 1 versus 4, so is he capable of the 1 versus 3? He's going to start moving through. He will see the Monty, but he won't get enough damage on him just to get the kill, but that does leave him with just less than half health, so that's not too bad, and he follows it up with a smoke, but it won't be enough to secure the kill. The plant, I'm sure, will start to go down. Shepherd sees the drop before Badger comes down, but then takes some damage following that, so he's now 1 versus 2. Diffuser down, and Kayak just steps in and gets the kill. Very good round from Kayak there.
Wonderful round from Kayak in that situation, stepping it up. A couple of hairy moments that he kept his cool and brought it out for his team.
A great round for Team Boost there.
Sorry, they are back to a equal 4-4 scoreline. Definitely a great feeling for them now, having started this half on the back foot. And Kayak himself, of course, will be flying very high, especially after that last round.
far fewer kills on the Team Boost side. It's interesting to see how they've been winning these rounds potentially, because I think they've got, off some quick maths there, I think they've got about 10 less kills on their team. So they've obviously just been taking the opportunities that have been presented to them and playing the objective a little bit more. So yeah, 20, 11, 16, 23, 25 playing against 31. So 6 kills more on the Edenity team, but so you know, more than a full team of operators more. But still, we come in 4-all, and a very, very close match. As I said, you can just never second guess these fixtures. You know, we're seeing this from all the CCS teams, that they're very, very close. So even though you've got a 2nd place versus a 7th place, it just doesn't really matter sometimes, and they're going to come in and make a game of it.
Indeed. Let's see then. 35 seconds left on this prep phase. Kozeka is sealing up downstairs in customs entrance. Shepard upstairs again. Shockwave's castle locking out the rotates. They're still sticking to this site selection. Question now becomes, can they do a better job of holding it this time as opposed to the first 2?
Yeah, definitely keen to hold it up here, but you know, like you say, they're going to have to change something, because the roam clear, I think, is what has won it for Team Boost both times. They've been so effective at clearing the 2 roamers, particularly out of armory lockers. They've been very patient about it, and have cleared them out both times without any major problem, and that's leaving them in a 5 versus 3, 4 versus 3 situation. So they've been at a man advantage every time, and Badger just seeing if he can get a long shot through into archives there, but doesn't quite get the time in that he would need to see that head, and just reins in a few more shots. As you never know, all it takes is somebody to move in late with some equipment or something, and you take up a cheeky kill through the door there. But Sully on the Monty working his way towards East Stairs again, and they're going to try and clear that out, and it looks like the same roam clear that they used last time.
So they're going to begin and slowly push on forward with this Monty, of course. He's going to charge in through that gap. But he's being very slow and cautious about it again, and rightfully so. In their shoes, I would very much expect the defending team to be doing something different. You expect them to have changed something. You've got to find out what that is.
That
So there's enough right to it. And yeah, there's a hole in the floor. That's one of it. The Legion mines are the other thing. And Kozeka can't quite land the headshot that he needed, but he's definitely getting closer to doing some damage. Namir, of course, had a great defense of this western side last round. Citizen fell down to him, and he's trying to do it again, but he's lost a bit of health. Namir C4 Citizen, there it is. So he's cleared him out. Now they know they're safe from that flank, and they can fall back that way if they need to. Kayak here had a big round last time, started out the kills on here, while they do lose Shepard to Curve. That Jaeger is pinned in the corner, thanks to Sledge. Sully is pushed aggressively forward now. He is keeping the information flowing as Kayak takes joystick down. That's the cue to rotate, but Shockwave makes Kayak fall through the hatch, and that's the diffuser down there with him now. Sully is up score. It's time to take his shield down and take Shockwave out as Shockwave takes down Curve. So it's a trade back, but it's 2 versus 2. However, one of those 2 defenders is down. I don't know whether the attacking team are aware of this. Kozeka is out of play. Sully is pushing forward to try and find him and finish him. He does get spotted by the bandit. They are aware, and he will get the kill. Kozeka now has to find his way to site with Namir in an unknown spot. I think he's still upstairs looking at where they look through the floors, but Twitch is checking every angle and finds the right one. Badger gets the kill, and for the first time since the start of the game, puts Team Boost in the lead.
Yeah, fantastic plays from Boost there. The foreboding figure of Montagna just doing exactly what he needs to do, moving in there slowly, quietly, and feeding that intel back to his team. And at the minute, they just don't really have an answer to the Monty, I don't think. They haven't killed him this round. They didn't kill him the previous round. So, you know, what are they going to do to change that up? Is it time for them to go to a different site?
I think that may be the answer, if I'm honest. Their hold of here just isn't working, no matter what they try, and now they're on the wrong end of a match point. They are going to take it all over again.
I really wouldn't want to
Taking the
go back
same
to
ops
this
again.
I really wouldn't want to keep banging mad against this same site, you know, especially coming into match point. They've just lost the last 2 rounds here. Surely you think we've just got to freshen things up. I wouldn't be surprised. I was just going to call Sully to change from Blackbeard to Monty, so they think that there's possibly not the Monty on the board. I'm sure they'll figure out that's where it was going to go. It was clearly, you know, clear as daylight to me that was what was going to happen. But again, you know, as previous, what have they brought in order to deal with the Monty? You know, unless we see the Legion move into play more of the goo mines upstairs or something, again, I just don't see what they're going to do differently here.
I'm with you. I'm trying to figure it out, but I can't see any big changes. I can't see any obvious play that they've got hidden up their sleeve here. They may, of course, have learned more about the attack every time they've gone up against it. That's fine. But you're not doing anything different to counter it. They seem to just be, oh, we know what they're going to do. We're used to the play. We've understood where they're going to do this, but we're going to beat them just by being better shots. It's like, it's not working. You can't be a better shot when one of them is a Monty. You're just getting pushed out every single time. So you need something more than just, well, we can outshoot them.
Exactly, and that's why I personally would have liked to have seen them go to a different side here. I think if Edenity come out of this on the wrong side of this result, they really have only got themselves to blame on this map with the sort of stubbornness of the defence here. But that being said, there are certainly no guarantees, so let's watch as Sully works his way in on the same route again with the same operator Monty. I'm sure they've predicted it, but what are they going to do about it? It looks like the Roamers are in the same position, playing around half wall of armoury lockers, and Sully now is going to be moving in there, checking his corners, and he will be feeding that back anytime now, I'm sure. In come the shots, so that tells him that they are there, and let's see if we're going to see any pressure onto CCTV. I know we've seen somebody move through there each time to try and cut off that rotation as well, but yes we do. So we've got Citizen just moving through, but Karzeka will get the first kill onto Badger, so that takes Twitch off the board, but that doesn't really impact on this upstairs roam clear yet, which is where this round is going to be won and lost, I think. Shockwave though with the second kill onto Kayak, and of course Caster's Curse. We can't see what they're going to do differently, but Edenity certainly have a plan, and they've come out now 5 in favour of them, 5 versus 3, so that puts them at a massive advantage. We've got damage onto Karzeka and Shockwave, but nothing too drastic. That said, Curve will move in on the Ying and get one traded back onto Karzeka, but the Monty is now down and will soon be out, I'm sure. There comes the kill from Namia, so that leaves us 2 versus 4 in favour of Edenity, and Curve just trying to work his way in, but he is super low on health. He knows there's at least one roamer, if not 2, still up here, and I'm sure they're just going to be patient now and wait to see if they can get that angle. Citizen looking to work in conjunction, but Joystick will move out and get the kill onto Curve, and that leaves us in a 1 versus 4. Shepard moves in with a headshot onto Citizen, and typically, as we can't see what they're going to do different, it's an absolutely clinical round from Edenity there. Great stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing we could have done to predict that from the picks alone. The picks were identical, and thankfully they did change it up anyway. They used the fact that, all right, well, we know how you're going to attack this. We've seen how you're going to attack this. Our Roamer's going to play it the same way as before. And so instead, they used one of their site players to rotate up. They slowly moved him all the way through and around the site. And they brought him up that middle staircase right after they'd dug in deep with the Roamers upstairs, and resulted in a nice, important kill and surprise aspect that shut down the attacking team.
Moving into overtime then, we are of course on the infinite overtime rules, but the recent change to CCS was that we will have a 1 round rotation now. So we will see Edenity come out first of all, and they are going to take a lockers hold. So they are choosing to change things up, even on the back of the successful workshop hold. Maybe they don't want to push the luck and go for 2 in a row, so they're taking us up to armory lockers, and then if well, regardless of whether they're successful or not, the teams will now swap every round, so Edenity will then move on to attack for the next round.
Overtime comes in. Edenity, very different defense to what we just saw, but that's because they are back upstairs now. They finally stuck to their guns on the downstairs, and they come on around to reset up top.
Seconds remaining.
And they did win this site, if memory serves, fairly comfortably, but then it's all started to slide away from them and they went down below.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
There goes the vault cam out onto tower then. If that doesn't get spotted, that's going to be a huge amount of information. Alibi looking to just, place the decoys there in those areas. Maybe going to prevent a plant there, stop them moving into that corner as they may choose to. But if nothing else, just attract a little bit of fire and maybe just take their attention whilst they move into the archives room. But we're going to have Badger here just looking to get an angle inside the map with Glass from a distance. But nobody to be seen as of yet. He's looking to clear out any roamers that are looking to defend underneath that bandit wall, I'm sure. And we've got Sully on the Monty again after so much success in the last few rounds. He's going to be moving in and heading straight towards site, so I think he's probably just fed back. I'm not sure. I think he's just seen near me potentially there, but he's going to be careful and moving with his back to the wall there, and he'll have fed that back to his team.
Yep. He's going to try and battery it. It's the perfect bait. Sully does kill him, but Shockwave trades Sully straight back. Now, the question is, was that worth it? Bandit for the Monty. Monty is in a good spot, or like is a strong op for pushing on through, but they no longer needed to really bully their way in. They know exactly where the defenders are now sat. Kayak, meanwhile, takes down Shockwave to give them man advantage to the attacking team. Baz on the other side now, instead of the Ash this round, is continuing again to pressure from afar and pressure from a distance, keeping the players that are inside that B site very much cut off and alone. They are waiting to try and find their opportunity to stand up and swing this back their way. There it is. Joystick finds one. He takes down Curb. Thrown in the sides, Kayak, and he finds Joystick as they've already taken control. Badger takes Shepard out elsewhere, and it now leaves Karzeka standing right next to one of his clones, pretending to be her. Jumps on through. The Glaz will spot him, but misses. Karzeka gets away with that one. The plant is down, though. Now he has to find two more kills. One in the back of that site, and he does see it, but can't land the kill in time. Citizen grabs it and puts Boost in the lead here for overtime.
Smart players from Citizen there, just using that shield. You could hear just on that kill cam the bullets raining in on that shield, and he just put himself even further behind the hole in the wall there just to get himself an angle through to watch that diffuser. So great players to finish that out. As you say, I don't know that the sacrificing Bandit so early to take the Monty out was really necessary. A lot of the pushing work had been done. They knew where they were already sort of approaching, so that said, Team Boost 6-5 up now, so they will need one more. We need to win by a clear 2, and they will head on to the attack this round. Sorry, the defence this round. They've just attacked last round, so they will now need to win a clear defence. They will go to Armoury Lockers as well, having just won up there on the attack, and see if they can finish this out and take the first map from Edenity.
No. 10 seconds left in the prep phase and the 6-pick phase. Looking once again at a potential swap, but not going for it. Everyone's staying with what they know this time around.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Okay. The defense for Boost has, for the first time today, brought Echo to the board. It is something we've not seen either team play until now. Sorry about that. What's going off outside?
I think somebody obviously wanted to get on the CCS stream there, just like when you see a news camera in the street, there's always one.
There's also a lot of background noise, children running around in the street. It's, that kind of weather, so I apologise for that too as well. There's not a lot I can do about that. Either way, the last few moments of prep phase are complete here for Boost, and the attack is now imminent. They need to be ready and waiting for it to come on in.
Now, if you remember, we saw Joystick approach on this same rappel last time, and he got taken straight out by the Pulse jumping out the window and shooting him off the rappel. So let's see if he's brave enough to go up there again. He seemed to be looking a little bit further around the corner this time, but as luck would have it for him, Pulse isn't playing down there anyway. But it's certainly something I'm sure that will play into the mental game a little bit. But as you can see, Joystick just safely on that rappel at the minute with nobody in the area, and he's now droning through officers. He's going to be looking to get in there pretty quickly. I'd have thought Karzeka to support him from east stairs as well. Shots coming in. He's just going to take a few pot shots through the soft wall there. Was a ping comes out onto an operator. Joystick opening up the wall now, allowing Karzeka to move in there as the Hibana Echo drone gets taken out. So the attacker's doing quite a good job here, losing a lot of resource for the defenders, and Pulse is just going to be trying to hold archives. He's going to be feeding back, but I'm sure it will be no surprise that Shockwave on the Blackbeard is out there by the aircon units, so no surprises there. And, you know, potentially that cardiac sensor could be put to better use elsewhere maybe, but it's always good to know that they're there and, you know, give a potential location as well. He will move to challenge it, but he won't be successful. Is he going to pop out onto the balcony or not? I don't think he's going to. He's just going to hold that tight angle in the corner there and watch for any approach up to the window. He moves around pre-firing but doesn't get the shots, and then what an angle to get Shockwave. That is a huge kill. Gets a second onto Joystick. Badger taking the game and saying this one is ours.
He's definitely doing what he can, but we've seen Namia step up and bring this back for them in similar situations before. Don't want to write them off yet. We've done it before and it's made me look stupid, so let's hold on. 50 seconds. And they do have this wall open. Karzeka is looking at these long angles into the A site. 46 seconds. Edenity do love to run the clock down to the very last moment. Pre-firing a couple of corners after this charge goes off. Sully takes down Shepard though, so it's looking better here for Boost. 2 players left on the attack. Smoke grenade comes from the stairs. Karzeka flanked. Namia does find one, but they get one each. So there's only 3 defenders left up, but now their positions are known. Shots rattling through again, sits in the back of the site. Remember, the Echo Drone is still a thing here. Need to be careful with that C4, but Kayak will fall down to Namia, who flanked him. Now it's all on Karzeka. You notice one on those metal staircase. His teammate just died to it. The Echo Drone is back in play. Looking to the stairs, pre-fires, but he's not putting his head on show. Curve's drone is around. It's now right above him. 7 seconds. He's got to get the plant, which he's not going to do with his Echo Drone alive. 7 seconds, 4 seconds to kill 3 players. Citizen steals the kill. And with that, Boost take map number 1.
Now then, who would have bet on that before we got started? Edenity previously so strong on border, and they're choosing the map tonight, but Boost come through, fantastic plays, and just do exactly what was needed. How about that double kill from Badger there? I think he barely moved about 4 footsteps and managed to get 2 within 5 seconds. That was brilliant plays, and I think the pivotal moment for the round, really.
That was definitely a great moment for a Boost to swing that around and switch it back on through. Look at Kayak there stepping up. You say there was that one round where he really went big for his team and brought them back from the brink of defeat, which definitely helped swing their momentum on through. And it sets us up wonderfully for Oregon as our next map.
Yeah, being that Boost are coming in there, knowing that it's their choice, but we've seen this the last couple of times that I've casted. We've seen this where, you know, the team comes out, takes the other team's map off them to start with, and then it just flips back and they're on their own map, but then they get that taken off them. And, you know, I just think it goes to speak of the quality that these teams have, and as much as any team can choose a map, every other team is prepared for that map as well. You know, it's a 7-map pool, and they've all got the strategies in place. They all know what they're doing, and it's never as simple as saying, you know, that's their map, so they're going to be the stronger team.
Yeah, exactly. The picks don't mean much, especially say when, as you mentioned, the picks become so common these days. Bang, Border, Oregon, maybe Consulate, Border, Oregon. They are the ones to go to. Everyone knows them. Everyone plays them. So who is the one that actually clicks the button today really makes lack of a difference. What's important here is the Boost are finally looking like a squad. They're a team that, as we mentioned, and I did harp on it a lot early on, were having rough opening weeks. They are 1-6, I believe, is their current record. It's not looking pretty for them. But today, they came out to fight. The Monty strategy, while it was starting to get figured towards the end of those last couple of attack rounds, they clearly worked on that. They made it theirs. They were strong on that play. Following that up, then Kayak on attack, being where he needed to be, playing that sledge phenomenally, doing exactly what needed to be done. The communication is definitely on point as he is in place to take down and trade and get back every kill that was needed. I'm really looking to see if they can carry it over here onto Oregon.
So we move across to Oregon now, and certainly showing no bias at all, but I do like to see an underdog making a game of things. So, you know, as you said, Boost just getting themselves together. It's never nice to see a team that struggles a couple of weeks in a row. You know, it did appear like there might have just been some sort of team working issues and things just to settle down. But great players so far, certainly looking like a completely different team for me, and I'm really looking forward to this next map on Oregon.
Yeah, the bans are going to be a big one. I want to say a little bit disappointed with the Maestro because we saw him get through. We finally got him on the option. We finally had him played, and it was a bit of disappointing. He didn't really show a whole lot of impact. And now I know largely that could have been the map. Border is one where he's not particularly the strongest, perhaps, but I was expecting more given, you know, the emphasis on always banning him that a lot of teams put, but maybe we'll see it this time around as we have a whole nother chance.
How about that then, coming in with a Hibana pick to start with, and that will be followed up by Blackbeard being your second attacker banned for Oregon. So the Blackbeard, we've seen a couple of times, and yes, it can be very effective on Kids Dorms windows and on the double window, but somewhat limited sometimes on Oregon, I think it's fair to say. But Hibana could be huge, not being able to open that hatch with the expected mirror ban following. That might still keep Laundry as a viable option without mirror now.
Yeah, Laundry on this map is always very, very interesting when mirror is taken off the table. And Edenity, I think it's a smart one for them to ban because they are, of course, on attack first, so they can get as many attack runs in as possible without her being a factor, and hopefully then get one lucky round on defense sort of thing. It also forces a lot of teams that straight refuse to go downstairs now without mirror. They just focus on upstairs site as much as possible instead, which is another potential option as we're going to see it here. And then to follow that as final options, we've also then seen teams just use the back end of the site a lot more for their pushes, even without mirror being in play. They choose to take meeting and take the back hatches and focus from that side instead. So she may there not be consequential, considering they just don't use that side of the site.
Absolutely. We're going to be seeing a Kids Dorm hold first of all, which is no real surprise, being that we've got no mirror, as you say. Laundry without mirror does take some real sort of theory crafting really to defend it. But that being said, with Hibana not able to open all three hatches, you're limited to 2 for Thermite. You know, if you can even get cheeky and place somebody towards the top of stairs and shoot out a Thermite charge, then that becomes, you know, really huge in terms of a push onto Laundry. So it'll be interesting to see when, I'm sure we inevitably do go down there. But for the time being, we will be attacking top floor, whereby the Blackbeard ban will be probably much more consequential, I think, than the others. Although a vigil to roam downstairs is always nice. Seeing Maestro again, so do you think we're maybe going to see a little bit more impact from Maestro on Oregon?
Definitely got the option to do more. We've seen it placed in a few, or I've personally seen those cameras placed in a few situations where it can really make or break breaches and changes, especially now, as you say, Hibana being banned, only Thermite charges in play. You can hide or control a single hatch or a single breach using that laser onto a Thermite charge. That can massively change rounds.
Curve there, just setting up his Maestro cams before the attackers start to move in. Shepard straight away taking out the static cam and then moving on in with his drone, so he's looking to drone out the bottom floor. As we all know, the roam game so important on Oregon. Whoever controls the roam game generally controls the round. So we've got 4 players upstairs as it stands for Team Boost, and I would expect at least one to be downstairs roaming, but I can't see anybody at the moment. In fact, I don't think there is. So if Edenity are quick about this, they could move in and just take complete bottom floor control. Namia moving in from the top of Big Tower there, and he's going to look to open up Attic and start a push in that direction.
do get that first wall opened up. That's one charge out of the picture. An important hole to use though, Attic, but they do have to be aware of people underneath him. Does now mean though that they can start pressuring the kids' bedroom windows, thanks to the fact they know the attic is clear. They can get that rappel up safely. There are players playing in there very close to it. Mystic loses his first drone quickly and is now aware.
Just trying to peek that kid's window then. He's going to see what angles he can get, but I think it's the Valkyrie of Citizen is just playing hard inside that window. Very difficult to get an angle, but in comes the frag grenade. Citizen, however, just moving around and managing to get some shots there onto Joystick, bringing him down to under half health, but then the nade comes in again and will take some health from Citizen, leaving him on around 25-30 health. So he's definitely got a job to do now. If the Ash Charge comes in here, it could well take Citizen out. In it comes. You will see the explosion, but Citizen again just managing to wriggle free. How much time can he take from these two attackers? So far it's at about 2 minutes, and now a kill as well onto Shockwave. This is fantastic play from Citizen to hold down Kidstorm single-handedly. He's kept 2 operators out of the picture and taken 2 minutes off the clock. Fantastic so far. Surely he cannot get more kills here. No, Karzeka will get him this time with the impact nade from Zofia, but that allows Badger to move out and get a double kill on the rappel. Fantastic plays from Boost.
Badger picks up a third as he takes down Namia that was in the tower and the man that was meant to be covering it. But Shepard quickly trades back 2 as he pushes through the big window and gets into the site. Now both of the defenders are actually a long way away from this location. The only downside for Shepard is he doesn't have the diffuser. That dropped on the kid's windows and now he's got to go and get it. But the 2 defenders can start coming back before he is gaining control of it. He's upstairs. They know he doesn't have it. They know he's got to come find them. So they're just staying, both the pair of them, very much split and spread out. So he cannot get them both. They are close enough to the site though, so that if needs be, they can find him. But the pings are there as well, thanks to the Maestro cams. And Badger will get his 4th kill of the round to secure it and end it. But what a clutch flank from Badger, and it all came from, as you said, Citizen holding the kids' windows.
That's it. Citizen just took so much focus there with the Valk. That was fantastic play for his team. That was a dream to watch, really. He was moving backwards and forwards. He was, in all 3 locations, either extreme side of the windows and then in that middle area as well. And how much resource did it take? He took an Ash Charge. He took 2 nades. It was finally the impact grenade from Zofia's gadget that got the kill. But how much utility used and how much focus taken, and like you say, Badger then just pops straight out, pat, and takes 2 of them down. Great plays. But the risk for Boost there was they were left with men off the site. If Shepard moves in on the Dockerby there with the diffuser, that could well have been a different story. He might well have got that down, but that's all ifs, buts and maybes, because Boost have taken the first round and this time will take Smoke coming in on the 6th pick for Curve there. So we will see the Laundry defense without Mirror. Let's see how we get on.
Both Legion and Smoke though should make this still a very easy hold because of the fact that they are both very powerful delaying operators. They just have to obviously expose themselves a bit more to throw them out there, at least in Smoke's case, as the round gets on, without that mirror, as you say, to keep them safe and make them feel comfortable. But there's still plenty of work that can be done. The attacking lineup from Edenity doesn't bring Capital to the table, which is what we see some teams do on other attacks of this site. They are holding a meeting room, which is becoming a bit more common these days.
Kayak there just placing his barbed wire down into meeting and moving straight in, no messing about here. 2 minutes 45, so they're already approaching site without too much trouble getting up rear stage, and I think they're going to take over that very, very quickly. So the angle from Shockwave there just being held. I think there's somebody in meeting trying to hold him out of there. Jaeger now, Kayak has just fallen back down rear stage stairs, so he's going to bide his time, I'm sure, and just wait for that push to progress. Meanwhile, Sully currently, as I said, just holding an angling meeting hole at the minute. He's got the hatch pre-opened. He's just looking to waste time here. You know, as it stands, he's got 45 seconds off the clock, and he's just going to continue holding that angle as long as he can. Joystick moving in above him. He's just outside of the attic. They're looking to clear that out as well. They've got Badger up there. Can he take another important kill? I think he's just seen the operator there, but he's obviously not going to get the angle, and he's just going to drop from there. But 1 minute 55 left on the clock, and it is all to do for the attackers here.
Yeah, I think he knows he wasn't going to get that kill, but he shot at them to get their attention, to keep them busy, and that's exactly how it worked. He actually managed to get Shepard off that roof of the big tower from inside here as well. He's now down, so they have to deal with him and get him back up, and every second they can't is even more trouble for the attacking team. Minute and 30, and they still can't get into the attic, let alone in the basement right now. There's the revive from Karzeka. Then he repels up, manages to get Shepard standing again. Badger knowing that he is being pressured in attic now. The Thermite has got the door open. Shepard back on up. Nemia being cautious. Badger, though, knowing he can just sit here and wait. And he's going to drop down. Realizing the hatch is open, he actually exposed himself to Joystick, who was already downstairs waiting as well. But he used a lot of the time, and Kayak trades Joystick straight back from the back staircase, so they do get that 1-for-1. Kayak took a lot of damage from it, but is ultimately alive, and that's what matters. Gets back all the way to site, and the health advantage is still in the defense favor, thanks to both Shockwave and Shepard being at about 50% health.
Great plays from Boost here on the defence. I think, like you said, just falling back into sight now, holding their angles. She's already got 40 seconds remaining, and the attackers really do have it all to do. And as they move in, Sully holding that angle, gets the kill onto Shockwave, but Shepard will trade that out, leaving us in a 3v3. 30 seconds to go, and they now... Oh, he just doesn't get the angle there. I think he's on the other side of the soft wall, so that's going to be difficult. In come the lifelines from Zafir. That's going to make it very difficult to continue holding this stock room. We are now at 15 seconds, and the diffuser is yet to get into sight. Nemia getting the kill onto Kayak. Citizen trading it out with the kill onto Nemia, leaving us 2 versus 2. And this round is going to be extremely close, much more so than you would expect, with a mirror off the board. So Valk drops down, but will get killed from Karzeka, watching the hatches. That leaves us with the plant going down, but Curve gets in, kills Shepard to stop the plant, and that will be the second round to Team Boost, and that tricky laundry defense successfully done. Great plays so far, and Team Boost looking very, very confident.
They are coming out swinging here. Happy days for them, taking that first map with a little bit of a bump, but ultimately then ending that map with relative ease. They definitely found their rhythm, and now here on Oregon, they're doing wonderfully. They're playing with such discipline as well, to say sit in that attic like Bandit was, Badger, for as long as he was, without peeking, without doing anything, without dying really, but like took so long to push him down. They were waiting for him to peek. They wanted him to stick his head up and stand there looking at them, but he wouldn't. He stayed in the corner. He did get a little bit for information and gets the down, but once he gets that down, he just stayed in. He tucked himself in and stayed there for as long as he possibly could. And finally he fell away and did die, but Kayak traded him back. Same as Citizen in Kid's bedroom. He held in Kids for so long, wasted so much time, that then Badger could peek the big tower and get those 2 kills that he did. The 3, in fact, when he got Thermite afterwards as well. These guys are playing together. They are playing discipline. They're playing on the same page. And even when one will fall, there is immediately repercussions for that. And there's immediately a punishment happening to the attacking Edenity lineup in return. And that's wonderful to watch for Boost players.
It just looks like a completely different team to the one we've seen for the last couple of weeks. Like I said, I don't know what's been going on, but they've certainly worked on it. And as you say, they're playing as a team. Out goes the Valk cam there. So they're just playing as a team, and it really is a joy to watch at the minute. They're going to be very, very difficult to beat here, because if they can get 3 or 4 rounds in their defensive phase, coming onto the attack, they're going to carry so much momentum, knowing that they only need a couple to take Edenity 2-0. Who would have expected that beforehand? But no messing about. Only just nearly 30 seconds gone off the clock, and they are already moving into rear stage, so they are not messing about.
Yeah. And there you go, opens up that kid's bedroom window. Citizen in there again, dances across as the shots rattle on through, but he doesn't take any damage. Kayak this time trying to be the unpredictable and mobile roamer. Meanwhile, Edenity sending 2 players towards the big tower to take control out of it. Of course, Badger punished them from there before, takes out that drone and runs away though. So they know he's there, they know his location, they're watching for him, and that's enough, or could be enough to burn the clock for a while. Namia's in there. They do take out the battery underneath, and that will allow him to open up the attic once again. Sully playing close to that with the Legion though. He'll do his best to hold him in there.
Joystick just looking to continue down rear stage potentially there then. But moving through, we've got 2 defenders looking to move through meeting hole, and they're still trying to make a challenge of that attic and rear stage area. They certainly don't want to give it up easily, and I think they want to leave it in the attackers' heads that there could potentially be a flank coming from behind. Curve's taken some real damage there though, just under 25 on the Maestro, and Shepard just looking to work, but he will burn those trophy systems before the lifelines start coming in. Shepard now trying to work through, but Sully will get the kill, taking the Sophia outside of double window, and that will be the first kill of the round. Now come in with only a minute remaining, and that will be 5 versus 4. Sully getting a second kill onto Karzeka, but before being traded out by Shockwave, so that will leave us 3 versus 4. Edenity with the diffuser in hand need to start thinking about a push here, but as you've said previously, they do like to use every single second of the clock, so with 40 seconds just remaining now, they have got it in hand, but plenty to do still.
Yeah, they're definitely confident in those few second pushes. Shockwave takes Curve down as he tries to get deeper into the site. That's the Maestro cameras now out of control. Citizen tries to get back into Kid's bedroom, but Joystick's still in the window, and the lead that the defense had is starting to crumble. Didn't necessarily need to do this when they have, and the plant's going to start going down in Kid's bedroom now. Joystick going to stick it out. Shockwave takes Kayak from the white stairs. Badger does manage to down Namia in the attic, but now they know exactly where he's coming from, and they have a single angle to push and look at. Joystick at one end looking for it. Badger going to have to come through his own barbed wire. Trophy system gets shot. He's briefing the right spot. He knows where it is, but he's not quite going to land the shot as Joystick tucks his head away. Meanwhile, Shockwave is, of course, around to his left. The ping goes through from the Maestro camera, of course. Can't quite see Shockwave, though, as it's immobile now that Maestro's dead. He's going to go prone in the corner, and there's an easy kill for him. Badger, of course, had no idea that's where he was going to be. And it is finally a round on the board for Edenity.
Yep, definitely making a match out of this here, which is exactly what we wanted to see. As I said at the beginning, I was keen for Consulate, so I don't necessarily want a quick boost run over here. But that being said, I still think they're going to be very, very difficult to beat here. They're going to go upstairs again now and try and emulate that successful first defence that they had on there in the first round. But Edenity just changing things up a little bit. I think, you know, they're confident in their approach, and we're going to see a thinker this time unless we get a change in the 6th pick, which is quite unusual. And let's see if we do. It does not look like we're going to see that change, so we will be playing with a thinker this time.
It is an odd one, especially here on Oregon, considering how many tight choke points there are and how often you are running through smoke grenades or through Legion mines. Very curious.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Let's see what we can do with it though. So the setup of the top floor site begins, and we will see probably a very standard sort of setup, and that is becoming a very popular place for the Maestro camps, just opposite the single window from the attic roof there. One going down just in between those 2 kids' dorm windows, so potentially, you know, any push coming from there. And the second it looks will be placed, I'm not sure, does it have the height? I think it's got the height to see out of double window as well there. So they'll be able to monitor the outside of double window, but also if they try to move in and get a plant through double window, it could well be used to interfere with that. I know it doesn't stop a plant, but it can certainly be used to interfere if nothing else.
Yeah, just be a bit annoying, be a pest if needs be. It's enough to bring someone's attention. Don't actually have to kill a person. It's only if you find that 5 damage, it takes a little bit. But if someone pushes into that room looking one angle, quick tap of damage from that laser to make them turn around as you then peek from the other side can be the difference between life and death. Just making them flick and just being unsure of where that damage is coming from, being unsure of what it is that hit them, and make them flick and react on instinct can make or break rounds.
The push coming quite quickly then as Dockerby moves straight up and starts putting the kills and, puts the shot in and gets the kill onto Citizen, taking the pulse off the board. So that's going to deny a lot of intel for the defenders here. But it looks like Zophia's concussion mine is just going to impact on Dockerby a little bit there as well. So dips back, Kayak looking out of attic there. Oh, and they will see each other, but at such a tight angle that they can't actually put any use to the shots. And Dockerby moving through now will get the final kill onto the curve. So curve at the top of White Stairs, that will bring us to a 3 versus 3. 2 kills from Badger though, and Shepard trading that out. Sully getting the kill onto Shepard. It's all going on very quickly here, leaving us in 1 versus 2. Joystick of Edenity with it all to do, being the one left against the 2. Kayak still in attic, will be looking to move back to site, I'm sure, and Sully on the Legion, whilst with plenty of time, 1 minute 30 left on the clock now. Joystick can just get on the drone and start moving through there, see if he can find anybody. He does have plenty of time, that's the one thing, but he's lost his drone, moves into sight, and shots will rain in on him, leaving him now at about 30 HP. He's practically pinched, and this is going to be very difficult for Joystick from here.
Yeah, it's a tough play here from Kayak though. He knows he's got a flank, he knows he's got to go the other way because both come from the same angle as an easy spray down for Joystick. But if he takes too long, his teammate could die while he's doing the flank. Or if he takes too long, he could lose the diffuser and the plant, which is exactly what's going on through here. And it's trying to, Legion's trying to spray out and stop it, but the plant actually goes through. Oh, I was about to say, Ash gets the kill on Legion. She should have had that, she's going to know that, but doesn't. Kayak rightfully loses his life. He did steal the kill. Sully did the work for it, to be fair. So Sully will get the diffuse. But ultimately, that is the end of the half here in favor of Boost. 4 rounds to 1.
Wow, great players for Boost there then. So it's going to be 3 rounds to 1. One more and they are in a...
Sorry. Yeah.
One more.
I said 4 rounds. I saw the word defenders were in round 4 and went,
yeah,
4-1.
We're moving into round 5. I'm sure something's not right. But 3-1 in favour of Boost then. They've really done some great work on defence here. But as we've seen previously, sometimes that can, in part, be down to the bans. If the defensive team are benefiting more favourably from the bans than the attacking team, don't forget, when Boost move on to the attack after this round, they can potentially face the same problems that are being found now by Edenity. I don't honestly think the Hibana ban has had that much impact. Granted, you can't drop the hatch to Laundry, but we've only seen 1 round won on Laundry, so I don't think the Hibana ban has had that much impact so far.
It used to be a big thing on this map because everyone's like, oh, it's only got 3 hatches, you ban Hibana. Or rather, you have Hibana and she can open them all. And then you ban her and now she can't open them. But it's like, so many times these days, defenders will play in meeting and open 1 or both hatches themselves. So you don't actually even need her to open them for you. You just have to get control of meeting and you have it. And yeah, you're right, as a result, all the bomb sites we've seen, all the attacks we've seen, have just required a Thermite to open 1 hatch, which has been the back hatch in meeting, as you see there, the only one in meeting that is actually sealed, and the attic to get them control of that. And that's it. They then don't need to push the front. They don't need the front hatch open. Nobody goes anywhere near it, which is, as I say, what I said in the warm-up and the prep for this map, is that more and more teams, regardless of the lack of mirror, just aren't going to the front of the site anyway.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Joystick moving in quickly with the Ash then, taking out the static cam as would be expected, and as predicted by Panky, it looks like they're going to be moving in quite heavily towards the rear stage area. Look to clear that out, attic included, and then work from there. But Legion, that will be Sully from previous, if I am correct. Yes, I am. So he's just laying down the goo mines at the entrance to meeting hall from lobby, but will then be moving back in. He's taken some damage from somewhere. I'm not sure who's managed to get shots on him, but at the minute I think he's probably still going to be holding in Meeting Hall, seeing what he can do. We've got Citizen on the bandit up in attic, so there's a couple of players there that need to be cleared out. If Edenity can do that successfully, IQ just taking out the goo mine there, so that will deny some intel when they move down rear stage stairs. But Legion Sully there just holding a tight angle, and the rear stage wall is open. That's not going to really impact. They can't get an angle onto Sully's position. He's just going to put a little impact nade out there and see if he can get anything. I think he's definitely thinking about it being time to move here, but at 1 minute 54 left, he's got plenty of his job done. He's wasted over a minute. That looks like it will be the wall into attic going, so Citizen's certainly going to have some work to do to move out of there as well, but not bad from Team Boost so far. Wasted plenty of time, but as he drops, Shepard gets Sully and Citizen from Shockwave, so that will be 5 versus 3. The two roamers both cleared out within a couple of seconds of each other, and that gives the control that Edenity might need. But we've seen Team Boost defend from sight very heavily previously and very successfully, and we have got a potential flank from Badger here. Can he get any kills?
It's unlucky from Sully too. He could have seen Namir running through the hole in the floor above him. He just wasn't paying attention to that, as there was action in the stairs as well. The grenades come in over Smoke's head, and he was looking Mute's head, and he was looking to try and get that pick, but it's not there. Badger's flank now is being watched here by Namir, who has done his job opening up the hatch. He's watching towards it. He knows there's a smoke above it. The calls come out, but Karzeka gets the nade onto Kayak. There's the head picked on up. He gets that kill, but can he get Namir? He sprints on in. Namir misses his shot, and Badger will get it. Now down the front stairs goes one attacker. One defender. Curve comes on up front. 3 defenders at the back, one of them being a planter. Badger's upstairs. The flank is being watched by Joystick. Smoke grenade will go out, but it won't actually hit the planter, so the plant goes through all the same. Badger now looking to make his way in through meeting. Needs to peek out and find out where Joystick is. Curve gets the kill on Shepard. Can't get the kill onto Karzeka though. And it's 2v1 now with Badger alone upstairs. He's got to get this kill onto Ash and then get downstairs. He has no idea to know where IQ's gone downstairs. And in trying to edge her out, he finds a bullet from Joystick's R4C in the side of his head. It's a valiant effort and a almost perfect flank there from Badger, coming in and taking down 2, but the guys on site couldn't stay alive while he did it. And now we will switch to the other half in a 3-2 scoreline, but this time in favour of Team Boost.
The pivotal moment for me there was probably Curve downstairs. He gets the first kill, I think it was onto Shepard, and then he moved out to challenge Karzeka on the IQ, but just couldn't find his shots, and I honestly thought he was going to do for a second. He was crouched. Karzeka moved out and was very close to him. It was all sort of in his favour for a second there, and I think if he gets that, it's then 2-on-1 in their favour. Joystick has to sort of prevent the retake at that point, and he could get straight onto the diffuser, whilst Joystick was concerned about Badger potentially flanking him as well. So pivotal moment there, and a great kill from Karzeka, a very important one to pick up for his team, keeping the game close here, as you say, at 3-2. That could have been a very different story with just 1 or 2 bullets going in a different direction there.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
As the
defused by
options
attackers.
have been selected, we're into our defense round here for Edenity. They are, as sort of expected these days, going upstairs first. It's become more of the norm. And the question is, let's see how well they can do it. We had great holds here from Boost, but a lot of it relied on late flanks through tower, and the Edenity attack revolved around getting open the attic push there where Joystick's reinforcing. Not every team does quite as much towards doing that though, and we'll see whether Boost are one of those squads. They've brought the thermite, but of course they can use that through the master bedroom closet as well.
Not seen quite as much as I might like on the roam game from Boost there when trying to hold this upstairs objective. No pulse downstairs, just not really applying too much pressure downstairs. I know Badger had a couple of good kills from the run out at rear stage, but yeah, a lot of the sort of rotations and roam game have been given up quite early, so maybe something that we'll see different from Edenity this time. Sledge opening up that armory angle very early, then he'll take out the cam. I'm sure they'll be aware of his presence, but it's a very difficult angle to challenge, is that one. It gives you a view all the way down into objective. and Karzeka just playing out of the bathroom area here. You've got Joystick downstairs as well. So as I suggested, we've got a bit more of a roam presence here. Badger just watching that flank potentially there on the glass, and he does have a man just off to his right, but I don't think he's going to be moving anywhere anytime soon. And that will be the master hatch opened very early into the round, nearly 2 minutes remaining still, and the master wall has been opened from the closet, so that definitely gives a great opportunity to get a plant down. Let's see if Sully can do this now. Then Badger's just in a flash of yellow, so he knows for certain that Joystick is still in the kitchen area, and he's just going to continue to hold and watch that flank. But Joystick does have the option to move out and back up White Stairs if he chooses to.
He's watching the long angle. There's still 2 roamers downstairs, and of course that Valkyrie on the White Stairs with the option to join them. Lots of holes in the floor can provide a lot of control in here. Karzeka tempted by the idea of peeking out into the glass, but not doing it yet. Joystick's just keeping him busy by opening up holes in the wall. A minute to go. Citizen taking a bit of damage upstairs, but in process he kills Shockwave, so it's worth. The first defender has fallen now. The attacker starting to take shape. First Dokubi Logic Bomb goes on out. He's looking for the push as Thermite pushes in towards White Stairs. Does take down Namir as well. They've got control of the generator room. Sully hits the traps on the way back out, but Kayak will take down Joystick downstairs as a result. Karzeka has come back up the White Stairs to now join his only remaining teammate Shepard in trying to stop this plant, but he falls to Citizen, who's inside the A site. 2 shotgun kills for Shepard as he takes down both players inside there, and he might have done what is needed here for his team. But the smoke grenade goes out from the glass. He peeks just before the smoke plumes, but he doesn't get the killing blow. Takes half of his health, but he also took a lot of damage in return. But he takes down Sully as well. Shepard's picked up 3 now. He's not got much health himself, but he could clutch this. Only 2 to find. The diffuser, though, down, has him on the clock. One's outside the window, one's in the master bedroom closet. Great positioning here for Team Boost. They've got themselves a solid crossfire. They use the time well. Shepard pushes forward. He hears it. He gets 1, but the peek from behind him. There it is. Curve a little bit late, but he does the job. Shepard so close with 4 out of 5 kills. Unlucky, but so close.
Second time tonight then we've seen Shepard get oh so close, but just not managed to get that last kill. 2 attempts, a 1 versus 4 and a 1 versus 5, so very unlucky tonight. But like you say, just a great crossfire setup there at the end. Team Boost and just doing exactly what they needed to do. Curve outside on the attic roof area, just waiting for that push. I don't know if Shepard had maybe just hit the control button and dropped into prone, whether he just avoids that angle from the window. It's touch and go, but I think he had a lot to do there, so I'm certainly not going to criticise it. It was a great effort. Moving into the next defensive round then, Edenity with it all to do, only 2 rounds away from losing this map and the overall game, and they're going to be going downstairs to Laundry, so without that mirror, not necessarily an easy site to hold, but we have seen it done successfully tonight by Team Boost. Lots of work to be done by Edenity.
Yeah, Boost has switched over from an IQ on Badger to the glass again there. You can see if that does anything to Identity's defense. I'm really interested to see where they put the Maestro cameras here, because you can do a lot to defend these hatches with him, a lot to defend Meeting Hall with him too, which we've seen is a big part of defending this basement. Or you could just save them for being on site for that last second push and stopping the plant at the end. But then, of course, as Maestro, you have to be alive. And actually, they're looking to put him upstairs. They're using him to defend the earlier half of the round, the roamer half of the round, using that for information to help the roamers out, and then perhaps a little bit of harassment as well. I like that play.
Yeah, it's just getting a slightly more aggressive approach on Maestro there, rather. You can almost consider them cams in the same way that you consider your operators. Is it an anchor cam or is it an aggressive roaming cam? And I think, that's exactly like you say there. What he's done is put it up there. It's going to provide a lot of intel. Think about yourself. If you're going in there on a roam clear and there's a Maestro behind you and there's nothing you can do about it, you're then thinking, yep, every move I make is being shouted out here. So you're just expecting every second for somebody to pop round a corner, pre-firing and take you out. So, yeah, great use of the Maestro cams there. Really interesting.
The only small downside is, if you do lose control of the area, Sledge can easily take them out. That's the sort of position where they aren't going to be very easy to protect. So you need to make sure you get your value out of them before that happens, if that happens. but that's certainly not a big ask, really. When you've got 2 roamers up here, a lot of utility expended on the area, and then the push. Kayak, though, steps on up on that sledge, takes the first kill. It's Joystick out of the picture there. Jaeger, not entirely sure how it happened. He was in Generator, maybe in a wallbang, actually. Karzeka using that as a chance to drop down through the hatch and get on out. Nemia in the attic, though, takes Sully down, does take the Thermite out of the picture. That's a big kill for this attack, as now the remaining sealed hatches will stay sealed. He's looking for one more coming forward. Not sure who it is, but he heard the steps, I believe. It was Badger. There's one more still nearby as well. Badger still not yet looking in the right spot. Now he's looking through the attic. He's prone behind the sandbags, so they won't spot. Namia doing exactly what Boost were doing back to them a minute ago, playing very patiently and very nice kill. Karzeka spraying through the windows from Big Tower towards the attic, towards the armory. Takes Curve out. It's not an easy task without it being a headshot on that gun too. At that range, that's not a lot of damage. Now he's got Glaz's attention focused that way, and Namia's still in the attic. What I was saying is that Boost were playing such disciplined, slow, waiting games, and now that's exactly what Namia is doing back to them. Kayak, though, is coming up underneath him. He looks in the right direction through the hatch. He should be able to see the back of Castle, but at the moment he's focused the other way. Karzeka, of course, still unknown somewhere around the Big Tower here. Now the Castle trying to move towards, he's not sure, but 45 seconds, the attack has to do something about going towards the actual site here, and they've been forced to go down the front edge. Shockwave picking up a lead in mind directly under the hatch, but the hatch won't be able to be dealt with. Shepard still on his Maestro cam now, looking down towards them, sees one come down, hits the glass, pings the staircase.
Bomb located by attackers.
Guy's in the smoke, doing what he can. The spray comes out. Ooh, doesn't quite hit it, but Karzeka will find him. There's the next spray coming on through. Karzeka in the corridor, just blindly spraying through the smoke, but they did get the plant off. This could be unfortunate for the attacking team. Yes, there's a defending team. There's only 2 attackers, but with the plant down, it's all for them. There's Kayak looking for one. Namia rotates down. Citizen can't finish him off, and as a result, has to go back to challenge Shepard. Seth Shepard will win that fight because Citizen is mid-reload, and they do pick it for the defuse. Edenity getting themselves their first round in a while, making it 4 rounds to 3. Their first round on attack. On defense. And honestly, a little bit scrappy at the end, but a win's a win.
What a match so far, really, backwards and forwards here on Oregon. And I mean, I think really the strength for Edenity that round was Karzeka, and I think it was Namia on the roam up in attic and rear stage. Team Boost just they moved in and got the first kill quickly and got one of the roamers, and you thought, you know, hang on, the Maestro cams have been wasted and the sledge is going to move in, take them out, and they're going to start taking top floor control. But then just that control they kept of attic and rear stage made it very, very difficult. And like you say, with only 40 seconds left, the attackers didn't have much of an option but to start pushing into Laundry directly and get the plant down, which they did a good job to do. But it was fairly routine, I think, from there on, with the Maestro cam overwatching the plant to just shout up that information and to move in and get those last few kills. So great play from Edenity there, just to hold them out and just make a nuisance of themselves, really.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
So, as the next defense starts to shape up, they are back upstairs again. Let's see where they put the cameras this time. I think it was my front door. I'm going to have to be right back really quickly. I'm sorry.
So Edenity now shaping up for their defence. They've got a Valkyrie, they've got a Maestro, they've got Bandit Smoke and Jaeger, and they'll be going up against the same attacking team that we saw last time out. This is Ash, Thermite, Sledge, Dockerby and Glaz. So just opening up the floor there a little bit below that barbed wire is Shepard on the Maestro with that strong shotgun pistol. Out comes Valkyrie with the cam, gets back in, ooh, just gets detected, so that's going to tell the attackers that there is a Valkyrie cam out there. But to be honest, if you don't expect that on Oregon, then you've probably never played Oregon before. So With the top floor defence, we've got the Maestro cam set up just inside double window again that's going to watch for any potential plant, and here come the drones from the attackers, so I'm sure they're going to be looking to move in and just clear out any roamers, of which we saw Edenity play quite heavily downstairs last time. They had one play in sort of the flex position between anchor and roamer from the white stairs, and then we had 2 full roamers downstairs. But Badger managed to do a good job on Glaz last time, just on a flank watch, and held them at bay for a while. But I'm not sure if that's something they're going to be doing again. Valkyrie just taking the chance there to close that double door, that window down with a barricade, sorry. And in comes Citizen now, looking to just approach, very conscious of the run out still, but no real progress inside yet from Team Boost, just allowing Edenity to stay there and hold their angles, and while Team Boost, with a minute 45 to go, start looking to approach site.
Slowly think about where it is they want to go. Still got a couple of rooms to worry about. Did catch a sight of that bandit. Citizen get shockwave through the floor. That's going to help them take out those batteries. Stick's still in the kitchen though. Namia down at the back of the white stairs as well. Citizen, I think, gets the batteries away there. They will breach the other wall. Sully will get that one open. Slightly deeper wall. Makes it a bit harder for them to plant where they wanted, but ultimately it's open, and that's what matters. Karzeka and Shepard in sight. Namir and Joystick still below. X drone spots Karzeka. Joystick though gets Citizen. Finds him downstairs after getting aggressive in the kitchen. Badger was watching that angle, but has decided to move for a bit. Now looking through the floor. Through that drone hole, he catches Joystick's feet. Joystick back out in the corridor. Misses that shot. Joystick tags him, but they both get back into kitchen. Now looking through the hole in the wall. There it is. He won't miss that time. Badger does take a bit more damage in the process, but he gets the kill all the same. Karzeka has been down and is trying to crawl through to the site next door, but they haven't droned out to know that. Sully, this is your chance to plant, but he's unsure. They do get the revive off. Karzeka and Shepard are back up. Kayak spraying through the window again as best he can, and the plant starts to go down. Badger gets Karzeka. Now's the C4 from below to stop the plant. It's big, and they have to run out of time. 20 seconds on the clock. Shepard still holding firm inside the site as best he can. They haven't picked the diffuser back up again. Namia stops Badger from the plant from the flank. Badger will fall. Namia gets away with his life. Curve now has to find 2. They both know that all they have to do is run away from him. In a horrible turn of events, Shepard does get the kill at the last second. Boost had a strong start to that attack, but just lost everyone in the worst possible moment.
Yeah, really not sure what happened or went wrong for Team Boost there. I think they just lost a couple of gunfights, like you say, and it just flipped that man advantage on its head. And from there, it was not plain sailing for Edenity, but they did what they needed to do and brought us back to 4-4 here. So with 2 rounds remaining for Team Boost on the attack, it would appear that the attacking team are having the harder time of things with the bans that have come in, and we will move to see another laundry fence, which has been difficult, but Edenity managed to do it quite nicely last time. This, I would predict, is going to come down to how Team Boost managed to handle those roamers again, and they really did not manage a successful clear on attic or rear stage last time, so maybe we will see the push come from there instead of Kid Storms this time.
That's very possible. We're back up to 4-4. We remember we've got an overtime on border. Edenity do that last second 6-pick switch to Legion.
Locate and defuse bombs.
And down to the basement they go. Definitely seeing a difference in Boost here from border in that they don't seem to be as confident with their pushes here on Oregon as they were on border. They've got an idea of what they want to do, but unless they get a couple of kills early, unless they kill the roamers off, they don't have as much get up and go when it comes to actually getting into the site. And that's leaving them in situations like they just had there, where people are being killed from defenders that are on spot, and then the trade's not coming. Or Karzeka gets downed, but no one's there to follow it up and push it in or to punish it for when he's getting revived. They're just hanging on and scaring themselves, I think, being a little bit overly cautious in these pushes. And that may be what's caused the loss, at least in that last round.
Citizen approaching the small tower then with Ash and just going to shoot out that barricade before possibly going for a quick approach in. Now, maybe something I'd like to see from the team boost attack is just a quicker approach. Don't let them roamers get themselves set. Last time we saw Karzeka up in attic be able to just lie down behind the sandbags and take his time over, you know, what he wanted to do and where he wanted to keep them from approaching. So maybe just like to see a little bit more aggression and just keep Edenity on the toes a little bit more. Don't allow them that level of control. So it looks like we're going to be seeing quite a strong laundry push this time from the main lobby. They've just left that castle barricade in place. Nemia up in attic this time instead of, I think, Karzeka now in the kids dorms area. So they've still got a couple of roamers upstairs, but potentially if they can get a roam watch or a flank watch, sorry, on the stairs, it does allow them some freedom to operate if they're quick through main lobby and that hatch.
Big window then being shot open. Karzeka did actually get tagged through the wall with that, actually. Namia's in the attic again. Joystick's in master bedroom. The roamers here are all set up to stop that push from the front hatch completely by their late flank. There's still half of the boost team pressuring through the hatch. You see that grenade taking out the barbed wire by the plant spot. These roamers, of course, happy to just sit here and let the clock burn down. Sully walks down the front staircase. He's not too worried. Shockwave gets spotted out by that drone and then falls back further. The new Legion mine gets shot out immediately. The cameras can spot these guys, of course, on the staircase. The smokes are going to go down, but of course the smokes won't stop the camera from seeing them. So the pings can still go off. They need to know exactly where the plant is. There it is, they can see it this time. He's still shooting him. Glaz is going to peek out. Actually gets the camera, that's good. Plant will get cancelled and repositioned. Curve, though, takes down Joystick upstairs. The Romans are starting to work their way back. Shepard sees the planter as the smoke runs out and will stop him before it completes. Curve also dies upstairs as Namia comes out the attic and the flankers are starting to come into play. Kayak does find Namia on his way down the staircase, so it keeps it 3v3. Badger, though, still down in sight. One more coming down the back stairs. It's Jaeger on his way back, I believe. Legion in that cupboard does tag up a foot as it runs through the stairs. Citizen at the back finds one. He keeps for the push on in. Look, one more in the cupboard. They're going to be waiting for it. But Karzeka was hiding in the corridor and trades him back. It's now only Kayak left alive, and he's going to try and tease out the plant. Karzeka holding. Shockwave holding. He does pull off it. It makes a constant noise now, of course, so they know he's got to go and find them. I know there's one in that corner. Pre-fires the corridor, but there's the peek out from behind him. Well played, Shockwave and Karzeka, putting match point in Identity's hand.
So unfortunate for Team Boost on that original plant attempt. The smokes, as you say, went out and they moved out, started getting the plant down, and then very clever play, I think it was from the Glaz, as the shots came in from the Maestro drone. Not only did he position himself in front, because it does take the entire diffuse planting time to kill somebody, so he moved inside, moved himself in front, took some damage himself, but also managed to put the shot straight onto the Maestro drone and took it out. So fantastic plays there. But then, as you say, that smoke just ran out. It must have been, I don't know, it was about a second before the diffuser went down, but Sully on the thermite had actually stopped planting when the Maestro dropped. If he just continued planting throughout, he would then have got the plant down and things could have been very different. But coulda, woulda, shoulda again. You know, very unfortunate for the smoke to run out, but Edenity clinical there when they needed to be and got the kills.
Okay. Here we go. Is it overtime? Can Boost keep their shot at a 2-0 alive by winning this round and taking it in? Or do Identity have their number? Karzeka has switched for the first time in this game onto Doc instead of the Ella. Curious as to why. Maybe we're going to see an aggressive spawn peek from him. It's not unheard of on this map, and it could be what they need while the pressure is on Boost, against Boost, while they are laying it into them, while they are on the upper leg, and to give them that secure and easy end to this map. Maybe a quick early peak kill is what it needs. Could also mean nothing of the sort, and we'll see how it plays out as a very normal setup. We do finally see one of those bulletproof cameras that you asked about earlier on, in place of barbed wire, and the Valkyrie cams, and the Maestro cams. So they are definitely going heavy on the knowledge game.
Yep, as we've said, we've got a definite cam meta this time out. Citizen, though, I think you could have been right. That might have been an attempt at an early spawn peak, but will that work? Flip reverse and put the momentum into Team Boost hands. Citizen getting a fantastic flick headshot there and just taking out that spawn peak. So we will have Jaeger off the board with joystick. It was a bit of a presumption that it was a spawn peak, but given that it was Jaeger, I think it's probably a fair assumption. So 5 versus 4 as they move in and quickly take control of Armory and Armory Corridor. The angle has been opened up to allow them to shoot down into sight, and I'm sure they're going to look to start pressuring into Master, which they do here. Will they know that there is a vault camera behind them? I don't think they will, but they go downstairs possibly if they need to open a bandit battery, but I don't think they're going to need to. So in comes the thermite charge, and that will now be successfully blown, and they've got the angle from downstairs cleverly opened up by Sledge to allow them to cover the plant should it be made there. So that just brings another element into this for them. 4 versus 4 though, as they lose the Sledge, but potentially his job is done. He's opened up that angle for the vertical defense of the diffuser.
Namia jumped out while that all happened and took down Kayak from that run out. Let's see if that is an impactful later, because Kayak of course has been a big factor in the kills for his team today. A lot of the defense is happening from below here for the Edenity lineup, but that's common. Citizen takes Karzeka out, quickly checks behind him, there's no one there. Looks again through his bedroom window, Shepard's in there. Oh, he didn't quite see the movement. That's exactly the angle he was looking to hold for the man behind the bomb, and Shepard went there. But another defender was picked off and leaves just Shepard and Namia. Namia now coming up the back stairs. The thermite was spotted on that cam, but not a lot that he can do to help Namia with the fight. Namia falls. Shepard's phone is ringing. They can hear it. In through the window comes Citizen. They trade, but we head to overtime.
Overtime for the second continuous map then, and I think that's probably fair from the performance we've seen out of these two teams. Neither of them want to let go of it, both having some fantastic plays, and just when you think it's swinging in one of the team's favours, the other one brings it back, and off to overtime we go. So who will we see on which side? We've got Edenity on the defence first of all, with Team Boost on the attack, and that will rotate on every round, so they will need to win one of each, a defence and an attack, to get that 2 clear points that they need. Really enjoyable so far, I've got to say, this match.
This has got to be something for Boost to feel great about. Edenity gonna feel a bit shaky after that last round. Boost going with a similar lineup again. Badger is the one player switching things around quite often at the moment, but this time he's going to go onto Lion. They've had issues pushing the basement on their previous attacks. I think this is the best start for overtime for Edenity to take though, as their basement defenses have been pretty damn successful so far. To get the first round in the bag defending this basement will put them in a great spot for attack. But there is a new sheriff in town for the Boost attack, and that brings Lion to the table. There's going to be a lot of people stuck in place when they try and peek out the planter, and that's where they've been winning these defenses, is aggressively moving and peeking into the smoke, spraying into the smoke and killing the planter who is hiding in there. But Lion is going to make that impossible. You're not going to be able to do that without being shot back at by the attackers, because you will be detected. So that might be the key ingredient here that Boost need to win this attack.
Sully just droning in there on the thermite, trying to find. They know that there's always had a strong presence on that middle floor from any roamers, so just trying to drone that out and see if he can locate any before they start moving in. And Curve on Dockerby just approaching the classroom window there, but they've got at least 2 upstairs from the Edenity lineup, and they're going to have to start thinking about clearing those out before they move on to anybody else. They did try to approach site last time without dealing with the roamers. They had somebody on the flank watch but it didn't really pan out. But to be fair, it was the defenders down in the objective that managed to get the 2 important kills to stop the diffuser going down, but I don't think that will probably be the case this time, and they really need to pay some attention to those roamers.
Minute 53 to go. They are biting their nails, getting that front hatch open again. Definitely a different approach for Boost here. As we said, everyone else seems to happily take the back side. Boost are going up front, even with all the roamers they know to be upstairs. Slightly different Maestro camera position here from Shepard. I like that one. It gives a much better view over the entire front of the site. Sully begins to go with the plant, but the camera can't actually see him in this spot. Comes out of the corridor, the Lion Charge triggers him, but he gets the kill anyway. The plant will go through. He gets the second kill, but then Curve will trade him back. Is it enough, though? Kayak is upstairs, still holding against the Jaeger, who is trying to jiggle crouch peek. That looked like a headshot, but he strafed straight through and survived. Now he's going the other way. Karzeka coming downstairs. The phone call will come out from Dokubi right as she's sitting next to it. Karzeka has to rethink this now as his phone rings. Down in the site, Shockwave is close to the diffuser with Namia. The Lion Charge will go on off. They're right there. Badger gets 1, Badger gets 2. Then the kill on from Curve gets 1, and he gets Joystick. Beautiful play from Curve to get 2. He must have heard both phones ringing. The Lion Charges were both there. I didn't even see the second one from Jaeger myself, but he knew he was there. He picks it out. Badger getting 2 on the stairs below as well, and it was exactly what Boost needed to win that basement attack for the first time this game. And now they're on defense, where they had a phenomenal first half, staring down the barrel of a potential 2-0 victory.
So Team Boost taking this by the scruff of the neck. They certainly don't want to go on to that third map of Consulate for the decider. Look at that from Shepard. How about that on the carry? 18 for 9, the closest on his team being 7 kills. So Edenity, if only the other players could get firing a little bit more. I know Shepard's obviously having, not necessarily the game of his life, but he's having a very, very good game there. But if he could just get a couple of other kills from around the team, they may well have already closed this out. But that's not to take anything away from Boost. They are really here to play tonight. And going on to the defence now, I really think Edenity are up against it here.
They definitely are. I'm excited to see how the defense, how their attack shapes up. They themselves are bringing exactly what they did previously. The defense is, again, very similar here for Boost as well. But nice camera. It needs to be a little bit more moved to the his right though. There we go. Should we be able to see the windows?
An interesting point to note for any of you thinking about using Maestro out there, that you can actually place your cams higher or lower by looking up and down, so that'll get you into a slightly higher spot. If you've not tried it before, give it a go. So Legion just getting his minds out round the bottom of White Stairs there, looking for that approach from possibly small tower area, and the holes will go in to help try to deny any plants coming from Master side, as we see the majority of the attacking team Edenity spawn at construction. I would imagine we're going to see a rear stage / kids push, but obviously that is all subject to change.
At the very least, yeah, they have to get control of this big tower like they're doing here, just so that they can make sure they won't be pushed from that flank like Badger did before. Then, of course, they can take the big windows, then they can clear the attic, and then they can start to actually pressure the site. They did that pretty comfortably for their first couple of rounds, and they will do it again here as Badger gets picked up by Shepard in the small tower.
Thermite just looking to move up through the attic there, as you say, got the back wall open nice and early, still 2 minutes in the round. Shockwave on the IQ, just looking to make sure that they've got all the gadgets cleared from outside, and they will start to push onto these rear windows now that they've got control over rear stage. They'll be fairly confident that they're not going to have a repeat situation whereby Badger gets out and gets 2 kills on them, but they are still, Team Boost, holding on inside there. Kayak downstairs, he's just watching those windows, looking for that vertical kill if possible as they move up to get through the windows.
Attackers have located a bomb.
looking to hold these long angles. Looking for the aggressive peek out. So there's already a little bit of health missing on that grenade blowing up just a bit too soon in the midair. A little bit of health missing on the Legion. Curve can stay alive though, thanks to that grenade not going deep enough. Citizen getting caught in the concussion, but he is Ella, so it won't be as effective. Joystick and Namie still in the big tower though, looking and making sure there's no flank. A lot of people repelling the windows. Sully gets the first kill for the defense, and it's on Shepard. That could be big for them now, as they've finally taken the one player off and leveled out the numbers. But it was Zofia who'd already used a lot of her gadgets, so we'll see. Joystick has the diffuser, and he was, as I said, in the big tower for a while, so they have to wait for him to rotate to the kids' windows, which he is now at. With 40 seconds left to go, they're making more moves. Curve falls to Shockwave, spraying through the bed. Kayak below has to get a kill through this hole in the floor. If he doesn't, he has to rotate all the way back up, and that could be impossible. He needs to get one as they repel in. He sees it, but he tags it without a kill. Karzeka takes down Citizen. The C4 goes up but won't actually touch anyone. Kayak looking for another window. Both defenders have to rotate up here. He's looking for it. He sees a millisecond, but can't quite stop the plant. Sully now edging his way up the white stairs. Kayak still in the kitchen. Has to come up that same route. Karzeka inside the kid's bedroom is hiding by the door. One of the big windows, a teammate. In they come. Sully gets one. There he sees it. I don't know if he spotted that man. Karzeka will take down Kayak as he pokes by the door, but Joystick takes Sully down. Sully didn't see Joystick prone in the corner of that room. And Edenity level it out and keep this game in overtime for a bit longer.
Great stuff from Edenity there. I honestly thought, basically, they've done exactly what I said, they needed to at the beginning of that round. I thought when Shepard went down, that was the man with 18 frags off the board, and I thought, are the rest of the team going to be able to get out of this slump and start picking the kills up? And, they have no choice here. Either they do it or they lose the match. But sure as anything, they got out of there and they got the kills that they needed. So Shepard only picking one up before he died, and then a couple spread out across the team there to finish things off. Great players from Edenity, bringing us back to 6-all, and they will now be on the defence and will head upstairs again.
So now we stare down the barrel of what is potentially an infinite overtime as the teams go back and forth. The attack lineup for Boost is identical to previously, but they're going to go, as you say, upstairs again. For the defence here, Edenity. The upstairs defense is something that there wasn't really a problem with for Boost either. But will this setup of operators be as strong at it as their previous? And there's all these rounds, all these upstairs attacks have been very close toss-up matchups. But as the defense starts to set themselves up, 10 assists on Shockwave. Look at that. Shepard going huge.
33 kills across the top 3 players on Team Boost there. Those players really, I think it was Badger, Citizen and Sully just really pulling the team towards the line, but not quite over it just yet. And looks like a cam is going to be going outside here from Namir, I would expect, rather than a run out. There it goes. Will he get back in time? He does. So that will potentially not give the attackers a warning that there is Valcam outside, unless they saw him on his way back in. So they will now look to approach. I am going to guess, seeing as they've got a thermite there, they're going to look for a master closet, seeing as they've spawned in the street spawn. And just, I think it was probably the Jaeger there, or was it the Valkyrie of Namir, just dipping away before that headshot could come through. So just a little bit of good fortune there, I think, for Namir.
Yeah, it's very, very close indeed. And now we see it, and as you're right, I think they're going to go master bedroom. It's what they've done their previous few attacks. Coming up here, they've always gone in through, breached that wall open, and then pushed it on in. Namia in the big, small tower now, looking for an opening, looking for maybe a peek behind someone. Can't see them at the big window because there's no one there. He can, however, see them all going over towards master bedroom. So at least now the defending team know that's the way they've got to focus. And he can pull that door down without actually making them aware, I believe. Because, they won't have heard it. The man on the roof, he may be able to see if he wants to, but he'll save that for later. They do get the wall on open. The Maestro cams can give them the information and feed that back across. White stairs is to cover as well. And smoke grenades start coming out.
but that is very early. Still a minute to go, even after the smoke grenades get cancelled out. That's an interesting sledgehammer that made rubble, but didn't seem to make the hole any bigger. Grenades now coming through, or bouncing in towards White Stairs to take out anything over there. No, they won't have hit the camera. Citizen goes to big window, and Namia's position now makes it worth. Sully does trade Shockwave down, but Joystick gets Kayak straight back, and the defensive team have the man advantage. Badger, though, will trade that by taking Joystick out of the attic, keeping them now 3v3 with a minute to go. Curve comes up into attic. He's got his teammate at Thermite close by. They're going to hack the cameras now, which will give them all the information from the Maestro cameras that the defenders had, and they can call on the logic bombs to find the last few.
Great play.
The line going out as well. 45 seconds now. Karzeka gets detected, but Sully can't get the shot. Karzeka gets the second one onto Curve as well. Badger's trying to spray through a sealed wall to get him, and Karzeka stepping up huge for his team may have just locked the round in.
Badger now with it all to do, but he is one of the top fraggers so far in the game. Can he get this? It's 1 versus 3. He needs to start breaking these down into those 1v1s, but I don't think he knows where everybody is. I'm sure he could make a good guess, but as he moves in, Shepard watching the angle. Nice and easy kill for him. They'd set up a nice crossfire on that window, and it was just a case of clicking the button as he came through. And there's the Maestro kill. So that will leave us 7-6 in favour of Edenity now. And Edenity moving on to match point for the first time in this round, I think. Oh no, I think they might have had one just before it went to overtime, didn't they?
Yeah, just about. But it's still, oh, so incredibly close. Laundry and supply room then is where Booster are looking to sit. Bringing a mute to the table again. Legion, Smoke, Jaeger, Valk. Not opting to use the Maestro downstairs themselves, but the attacking lineup is not using the smoke heavy setup that Boost did either. On the 6th pick, no one at the moment looking to switch things over.
No, I think all these operators, apart from the mute, pretty much what we've come to expect to see on both sides. So I don't think we'll see anything changing up as the teams get locked in, and we head for round number 14 here. And Edenity on match point. Team Boost looking to just keep themselves in this thing, and they go with the laundry defense. So interestingly, looking to stop that hatch being open, but without the Hibana, maybe not so much of a priority. And I'm not sure. I know the Hibana pellets can avoid the mute jammer. I don't think the thermite will be able to, so they may need to do something about that. And with no Twitch and no Thatcher, it may just completely write that off as an option, but we will see.
So
10 seconds remaining.
Some resource definitely being expended in the meeting hall again, as we might expect. There goes the Valk cam, just in case they'll lose that area. They can then feed back information as to when and where, if anybody's going to push down a hatch or anything like that, but I'm sure they'll be trying to keep it for the time being. Looks like there could be some pressure applied to construction there, and as the angle comes in, we do have 2 attackers in the rear stage area, but nobody that is going to get a view onto from Shockwave's position there.
they're opening up the front few doors. They're opening a couple of angles in towards some standard positions, but they don't seem to know exactly where the defenders are properly yet. They're just droning the outer edges and finding first couple of peaks. Do catch a little bit of information towards the back tower, trying to figure out what it is. They do get themselves largely in. We'll open up the attic. Sully uses that as a chance to fall back down through the basement deeper. Didn't actually pre-open the hatch in meeting, so it's actually still sealed. All 5 defenders actually downstairs.
Yep, not much of a roam game here from Team Boost, but I think we've seen them already have some success on the first time that they defended Laundry. And he actually played a bit of a turtle defence then and saw some success after sort of falling back from a marginal meeting hole hold. But Sully just holding his angles there, so he'll be in the electricity room, and he's just going to hold his angles for anybody trying to drop hatch, which has now been opened by joystick. So I'm sure this is where the vault cams are going to come into force. There was a vault cam placed under a table there in meeting hall. I'm not sure if that's been picked up or not. If not, it'll be providing vital information as to when that drop might come, but it certainly looks like this is going to be a push from the rear stage side, completely ignoring that meeting hall side this time.
Yeah, and this is going to be interesting because, of course, Boost always go from the front. Edenity are the ones that have been going from the back. Edenity now, of course, the attackers, so we'll see whether it works and whether Boost's whole defense is in place for this. They are, as we said, all downstairs, but because of the way this game's been going, a lot of Identity's focus here is actually on making sure there are no rooms. Smokes and Legion Men's going out towards the back end, keeping everyone pinned in as best they can. 36 seconds to go. I think that was the last smoke grenade. Playing close. Smoke playing it further back. Trophy system still doing its work, but Karzeka has managed to pick up one kill. Let's see where that came from, if I'm honest. Here's the one inside, so he peeked the door, okay. They are now pushing the corridor. They're very pinned up in here. The smoke grenade will pin them out. The Jaeger peeks around. Shockwave takes down Curve. This is looking good for Edenity, of course. They're on match point. Jaeger does take down one, but Naemir gets two before Karzeka trades Citizen and Shockwave in one spray himself. Badger now looking for 3 players. The plant is going down. He needs to stop it, but cannot. Looking towards the corridor, spraying as he peeks on either way. They now know that all they have to do is hold firm, and 3v1 they should be able to pull this off. Player has gone upstairs. The grenade is still in hand here from Karzeka. He throws it one way, which means Badger will use that as a chance. Pre-fires the right spot, but can't get the aim right. Edges towards the corridor again. The meeting man is looking to try and flank him. He is thinking about going all the way up there, but the hold is in place. Naemir realizing now, Badger knowing that he's not got enough time. He's very indecisive right now. Heads back down towards the bomb, and Shepard is there waiting for him. Identity do lock away map number 2. 21 kills for Shepard to make it happen, and we will see map number 3.
Unreal, what a match we've just seen there on Oregon, finishing 8-6 in favour of Edenity. And like you say, Shepard there really leading by example and coming through with 21 kills. So something a little bit special from him there. But sometimes that's what's needed. We also had Karzeka up there on 13, Shockwave and Naemir on 9 apiece. And, you know, you can see from the kills across the other team as well, they really made a game of it there. So coming in 1-0, we will see our final map, which will be Consulate. And I think this match deserves it. I think both teams have I think most rounds have been won rather than lost. I think, you know, so far, so good.
Definitely true. I think we may run a short break and give you a break and get the teams a moment or two if they want it. Grab a bit of water, grab a quick break, because it has been a long 2 games with them both going to overtime and going a couple of rounds in each one as well to drag it over. See what the teams have to say. But it's definitely a very tense series where either team honestly does deserve this win from where we've seen the first 2 games go. I definitely don't want to call it, and I want to give Boost so much credit. They are a very different team to the last guys I saw play, and as a result, they are really making Edenity fight for this.
Yeah, I've been very impressed. As I said at the beginning of the night, you know, I didn't expect too much from Boost, if I'm being honest. I've seen them play the last couple of games, and they've really struggled. You know, the teamwork particularly just hasn't been there, and by the end of the game, they've been sort of just taking the random operators and obviously struggling just to keep on, you know, keep focus there. But whatever they have done in between has certainly worked. They've come back looking like a cohesive unit. They're working together. There's no rush in them. They're quite happy to play the game and to keep pressuring the point that they think they need to. And yeah, excellent plays so far. I'd maybe just like to see a little bit more aggression from them. But that being said, we've had, you know, Badger got, I think that's what sort of fell off a little bit in that Oregon game. Early on, we had Badger run out on the defence, got the 2 kills off, and I know you can't do that every every single round because people start watching for that. But maybe just mixing it up as the match went on and just a little bit more of that aggression thrown in might have been nice. But that being said, not to take anything away from Edenity, they've played very well there in difficult circumstances. They've come off a loss on Border, which is a map they may well have expected to win, and then they've turned it around and fought very, very hard to come back from a deficit on Oregon.
Yeah, definitely so. But as I said, with that, we are going to run to a short break. Grab a bit of drink, give the players a bit of rest. And when we come back, it will be map number 3 here between Team Boost and Edenity. It will be Consulate, and it will be tight.
Hard to keep a straight face when I'm burning like fire, and you walk all the sides. I'm drawn in desire, and you have to think twice. It's hard to keep smiling when I try to set things straight. You don't even listen. I'm just getting late, like you're on a mission. Drawn in desire, and you have to think twice. You make me weak. You're the one I seek, and I hate that I love you. I hate that I love you. If I could, and I would, carve out your heart, carve out your heart, and I reincarnate it. It's hard to keep smiling when you're closing every door. I'm trying to open. I tell you love you more, and you say it's broken. You make me weak. You're the one I seek, and I hate that I love you. I hate that I love you. If I could, and I would, carve out your heart, carve out your heart, and I reincarnate it, and I reincarnate it. It's hard to keep smiling when you're closing every door. I'm trying to open. I tell you love you more, and you say it's broken. But it wouldn't mend mine. turn around, I feel the breeze over me. You watch your dreams unfold. Let it come around and let it breathe over me. It's time to go away into the light. I feel the calming energy.
Hello then and welcome back to the CCS EU matchup between Edenity and Team Boost. We come into the third map here, the decider. 1-all Edenity Team Boost. Team Boost taking the first map on Border, and then Edenity fighting back for a hard-fought win on Oregon, and we move into the ban phase for our deciding map, which is Consulate.
I am so ready for this game. These teams have shown very exciting rounds. Specific players have been incredible throughout the previous maps, stepping up when they needed to. Some cases crumbling when they needed to, making it really exciting. Now we get to see not only a third map, but a very new map, a map that we don't see too often these days, something that's not Oregon and not Border.
Dockerby coming in as that first ban there. It makes sense against the Rome game, potentially.
It does on this map as well. There's only a few spots for the defenders to really sit in, for the most part of the upstairs bomb sites at least. And you ring that Dockerby phone, as soon as you know where they are, they're then stuck there, or they've got to sprint through your crosshairs. You've got them pinned in the corner. You've got that confirmation. And the roamers have very limited flank routes too. So once you're phoning them, you can hear roughly where the roamers are. You're going to know which one of the two staircases they're at. You know they have to come back up one of them. And again, you then have them easily bend in.
So Echo, no massive surprise on the ban there, being that he's so powerful to hold against a plant in Garage, and also very useful potentially up in the top floor console location. Glaz, again, you know, everybody loves to get onto those two single windows looking into console with Glaz, but you know, his use has spread beyond that. In a situation where we may well see lobby played, he can defend that from about 3/4 of a mile away, and the same with Garage as well. So no huge surprise on that pick.
And for the first time today, the Maestro ban, if memory serves.
And possibly going to have the biggest impact, I think, as well.
Yes, true. He was big on Oregon to be let through. Not surprised to see that he won't be again, especially as you say for sites like the lobby side and the Garage side. And Maestro really can control that area, give a lot of information to the defenders over, or even then, as you say, or rather, as we saw on Oregon, put one upstairs with the roamers, even when you're defending downstairs, then one on the site, and you have so much control of the entire map to assist with your roamers. Has that, as you say, 6th player perhaps, use the camera as that extra man, and then still be able to use one on site when the push comes through down there as well. Very, very strong operator, and smart to see him finally banned.
Ooh, a late 6th pick there. I was just about to comment on the Capcan being an unusual pick, but it looks like Sully will be trading him out for somebody, and Book being traded out by Namia potentially now on a console meeting room objective. Book will be less useful than he would be against the Garage push. Not to say that he isn't useful, there's still plenty of that floor destructible, but certainly more so to work from Piano down into Garage. So we see IQ come in, and we see the inevitable Valkyrie that you would expect. So common on Consulate. It all just depends on how effective that IQ can be. Namia's going to have some work to do to make sure he finds all of those cams outside. Otherwise, it can be a very short attack if Valkyrie can put those to use.
We've seen some teams also stick with their defense being, or their cameras being inside as well. So we'll see whether Valkyrie actually puts them out top. I'm intrigued though to see whether the IQ ban, the IQ 6th pick rather, was as a, they're bringing a cap. Let's 6th pick IQ, find out the traps. And then accidentally going, oh, now they've got a Valkyrie, and now we're going to find the Valkyrie cams. Or if it was a, I don't think that cap can's real, or at least I don't think one of them's real. They're going to late switch to a Valkyrie. Let's late switch to an IQ and be ready for it. And if they just got lucky and got that right, sort of thing. But either way, it's a great switch for Namia to make use of it. looking at the way she's playing now, I think it was more in the case of dealing with the Capcan traps, because Capcan is actually not too uncommon on this particular site on defense because of the limited routes out of admin office. And because of the way you have to move to get out of each of those rooms, you can put Capcan traps on the opposite side of each door and force players to reveal their heads to shoot that trap. So when you put an IQ in place, you can find out exactly where those are, and sometimes you can wallbang them, and sometimes you can get it from different angles thanks to that extra information from the IQ, not having to reveal yourself. And now looking from this push, you say Nami is coming through admin, not going anywhere near the other cameras, not even looking to try and find them. I think their plan was purely to find out which doors did and didn't have Capcan traps on them.
Kayak being forced out of that kitchen copy room area there, just on the side with Hibana taking out the mirror, so that will grant access into admin now, and the control of it is pretty much in the hands of Edenity, so they can start building an attack from here. But team boost on the defense, just looking to hold those angles. Kayak dropping down now, looking for a potential flank, possibly up spiral stairs, or alternatively potentially up the front stairs from Visas. But the mirror is dropped, and I think that was actually done by Curve himself to give him an angle, knowing that there is going to be no yellow stairs push.
Holding firm. They do shoot. Oh, they managed to get a lot of the banner charges. Not quite enough to save Valkyrie from staying in. C4 didn't quite go deep enough. Karzeka could have been in trouble, but Sully kept the push up, and Karzeka manages to kill him all the same. It's the first kill of the game and the first kill of the round, taking Valkyrie off the table. And you get the ping on the man in the bathroom. That's unfortunate. The drone falling through. We'll actually burn quite a bit of time here for the IQ, having to get it all the way back up the yellow stairs. Man on the A windows, though. It's a Shepherd. This is where a Blackbeard can be very, very powerful, but they put a thermite, so he's going to be a bit more cautious. But he's in, holding the diffuser, deep in the corner. Destroys the furniture to keep himself safe. Abitao on the window, dealing with Badger. Joysticks, meanwhile, killed Kayak, but the plant will continue and be successful. Smoke's coming on in to lock off the connector. The flashbang is completely blind the Jaeger. Shockwave didn't quite tag Curve there, but it was close. Shockwave jumps out, and Badger jumps out and Shockwave kills him. The timing of that look away from Citizens, looks straight into Shockwave as he kills him, but doesn't see the man coming behind him. And Curve doesn't even get one kill for the defense. Joystick seals that out, and Identity take round number one flawlessly.
Excellent from Edenity there. I mean, I think they're pretty comfortable on this map. The way that Shepherd got in there, brazenly getting the plant down with 4 defenders still left on the board, didn't let that concern him whatsoever. I think Kayaker's castle was taken off the board as the plant went down, and still 3 defenders left. The plant was successfully completed, and Edenity had a plan, executed it, and that shows exactly what happens there when you go in with an idea of what you're going to do.
That's also, unfortunately, the way Oregon Consulate goes. From my previous experience, it's been teams either have an attack strategy that works and they use it and it rolls often, or teams have a defense strategy that works and it works over and over. Smart play, I think, here from Boost to switch themselves down to the garage, not going for that upstairs hold again. The Identity attack is very, very strong up there. If they can win as many rounds as they can playing the other sides, they might be all right. But the other problem with this map is that part of winning that upstairs, winning the downstairs side involves holding upstairs still. So we'll see if the Romans can still be alive and still be mobile up there, despite Identity being very efficient at pushing through and clearing the rest of this map.
As you say, if you don't make a concerted effort to hold the piano and bathroom area particularly, you're going to really struggle on this site. As soon as that floor starts getting opened up by the Book of Namia, seen him play Book before, again, very effective operator for him, and he's just going to get in there, and he's really going to hurt you at that point because the majority of that floor can be opened up. So Badger potentially, again, in that area there's no great vault cam spots. There's a few that you can use, but I think they're quite often spotted out, but we'll see how effective those are, and just looking for a little bit of presence in visas potentially as well.
It's curious that maybe it would have been an aggressive peak, but it is not this time at least. Identity very quickly going in on the upper floors then. They, I think, droned the admin and were aware of it.
Pop the lion charge, make sure they stay still. Ash comes in before the drone, and it could be his downfall. Citizen gets shockwave. The drone went in first. He would have known. They did have that plan. The drone was meant to be leading the way, but it's too keen. Lion up the yellow stairs is a little bit slow. Shockwave gets him through the wall. Unfortunate for Citizen, who was doing so well to delay them and keep their attention, but Namia gets downed elsewhere. I didn't quite see how it happened, but however it did, it's good for the defense because it slows them down, slows the attackers down further and further as they try and, one, make sure he's safe, then revive him, then get him up, then continue their push. So they do go 1 for 1, but the down on Namia slows their attack a little bit further. They did have to reset Kayak though, so the health is identical still in terms of equals. Now, finally, the last few attackers actually leave spawn. They were droning the entire way through, and they can start thinking about actually pressuring the garage itself.
Yep, as you can see there, all defenders now on site by the looks of it. The roam game has been cleared. Citizen doing a good job upstairs, like you say, but as he moved round to get there, drop back down the hatch, it was pretty obvious to Shepard there where he'd be going. So Kayak getting the vertical kill up onto Namia though, so that will take the buck out and take a lot of that vertical presence away. But meanwhile, Thermite gets the garage door open, so the push can begin to move towards White Van, but it's still not going to be straightforward here without somebody getting upstairs and just getting a bit more of a vertical presence. But it depends how much Namia was able to open up before he was taken out. So as I was saying, Shockwave just knew where Citizen was going to go. He knew he was going to drop down the hatch. You know, these guys have spent hundreds of hours in the game, so he knows exactly what the angle through the wall is there onto the hatch and managed to get the kill. I think, yes, Curve just gets downed on the bandit there, so that's the second time now. Kayak's already been down. That's the second defender to be downed, but he will be picked up and returned to 50 health, so lives to fight another day. 4 versus 3, still in favour of Team Boost, and it's time with 30 seconds coming up for Edenity to start thinking about how they're going to get this plant down. But honestly, I don't think it's going to be too easy from here. Sully coming down there on the flank, gets the Hibana. Kayak moving out, Curve as well. 2 kills at the same time. Shockwave and Shepard taken out, and great plays from Team Boost there. As I said, once they had 3 men and they were pushing directly into White Van area, it was always going to be a big ask for Team Boost from there because you're expecting the push to come there, and once you don't have the men upstairs to apply pressure as well, it was easy then for a late roam to come in, move down yellow stairs, pick up a couple of kills, and it was all that she wrote for that round. So that will bring us to 1-all.
Cast the entire end of that round with my microphone muted. I'm sorry. I wonder why you jumped in halfway through. I was like, I'm doing it. I was like, oh, I'm muted. Oh, dear.
How rude. He's just going over the top of me here.
Oh, well, I'm professional.
I'll let you do the start of this one then, Pancake.
I'll take that. Yeah, thanks. They're all going back up to the console office. This surprises me a little bit. They're bringing the castle in to try and mix things over instead. But I'd like to see them potentially go to the lobby instead. But maybe they are less confident with their lobby hold even after losing the upstairs site as they are upstairs. So we'll see whether the strong, powerful attack that Edenity used previously is still successful. They do a quick switch out
Attackers need to
with their
locate and
6th
defuse
pick.
as many bombs as they
Actually,
can.
I think it was bandit to bandit. Actually, I think he changed his mind, but we'll see. Citizen bringing the alibi this time over as well. See whether he can be more of an impact with that on this defense. He did decent work with it in the garage defense, but ultimately still died a little bit early, killing the Ash though. Here's a bonus. But there is still plenty of time to play in this round. They are obviously not bringing the cap cam this time over. They did not switch over to the Valkyrie either, as the cameras they threw out were a null factor. All of the pushing came from the other end of the map. The cameras didn't get seen or used at all.
10 seconds to insertion.
But now they're doing what they can to set up
5 seconds
and
to
defend this front theatre site.
I definitely expect to see Badger moving through to protect that mirror window this time. That was, you know, the thing that really set the push off. Hibana got up there onto the windows, opened that mirror up, forced Kayak out, and just left admin for Edenity to swarm through, really. So I'd expect that mirror to definitely be defended a little more heavily this time, just to try and keep them out. But saying that, Citizen is playing that mirror, and it doesn't look like there is a bandit on the mirror, so it could be the same situation again, that it just gets blown out.
I was about to say he's gone to do it now, but he's not. He's going to try and juggle it, I think.
He's holding 2 batteries in his hand, just standing behind the window. I like the idea. If they charge it straight away, he's there. They are tagging a couple of prisoners, but of course they know he's repelling. I don't know if they know it's Bandit that's there. They might just know it's someone. They do know it's Bandit. They had a drone very close. And the battery went down there as well to confirm it for them. Getting on the charge though. Sprayed in. Where did that one land? Maybe it was on the window. Maybe they weren't aware it was a Bandit. And he just put it straight on the window because the charges immediately vanished. He continued to spray on in, and this is a much better hold of the office for Team Boost. Look how much longer it's taking the attacking Identity lineup to get inside. And they're still trying to deal with that window, even though we now know it's currently empty.
As you say, that's fantastic players from Team Boost, you know, even wasting time without a man there. Like you say, there's nobody there. There's no reason for them not to push in, which they are doing now, but it still took another 20 seconds off the clock before they realised that and started moving forward. And that could be key come the end of this. But Namia getting the first kill onto Badger, so that will take us 5v4 in favour of Edenity, and the attack starts moving now. Kozeka and Namia in there together. Citizen on the alibi, waiting to see if anybody peeks from the copy side, but it doesn't look like it will be coming just yet, and Namia falls back to get back on the drone and see if he can get any further intel of where the defenders have holed themselves up. We've got Lion and Capitao playing from the windows, so that will make any rotation very difficult. It looks like Shockwave's aware of Sully's position. Karzeka getting the kill onto Citizen, and Sully managing to just step out and get the kill onto Shockwave. So fantastic play there from Sully just to bring the man advantage a little bit back more towards his team, but still 4 versus 3 in favour of Edenity. Curve taking damage now as well. Kayak on below half health. Namia taken out by Sully. That's his second kill of the round. Shepard and Joystick 2 quick kills onto Kayak and Curve, so that leaves us 3 versus 1, and Sully has it all to do, but he will get the first, so it's 1 versus 2 as he takes out Ash and the Joystick, but the plant will start to go down now. Shepard there, Karzeka on the watch, but Sully will get the first, and now it is 1 versus 1. He just needs to take out Shepard and then get onto the diffuser. He knows where he is as they've traded fire, and they're now going to just duel from the opposite sides, and what a clutch from Sully. That's 1 versus 3 back. He just needs to find that diffuser, but he can't do it. He's got plenty of time. Gets in there, and that is wonderful play from Sully. Fantastic.
What a play, Sully. Well done to that man. Took those 3v1s and singled them out one by one, taking them down, taking each fight one at a time, keeping a lot of health in the process from each one as well. Kept himself healthy enough to secure it. And then, as you said, Boost had a great start to that round, wasted a lot more time. They went 20 seconds from Identity's clock when there wasn't even a man behind the window. Unfortunately, I don't think they were quite prepared for Identity after they moved against that window, which is why they lost a few people for free. They did lose a lot of damage on Curve as he was shooting those Hibana charges. They used it to bait him out, and he survived it all the same. Citizen is right, yeah. Sully actually aced that round at the end of it all. So, fantastic play by him. But for the first time today, we're going to see ourselves a Vigil now as he snuck through the ban phase, and Badger has decided to pick him up.
Vigil can be a particularly powerful operator on this map, as we've seen already. There is quite a strong roam game, but saying that, Caster's Curse comes in and it looks like Badger's going to trade Vigil out. But as the defenders, it can be, especially in Garage, particularly important, but there comes the Valk, so they obviously just want that intel from the cams instead, and with no IQ on the other side, that will make it more difficult if they can get some good spots for them to be taken out. But again, we saw last round they were successful here because they managed to take out the Namia upstairs on the book and stop him opening the floor up. I think it's fair to say that was a large contributing factor to the win on this last time. So without the Vigil, they've still got a roam presence upstairs, but Vigil's just such a strong operator to do that job. It might have been interesting to see him remain in the team. You know, how much work is Valk going to do here? You're expecting a piano and a white door push. We all sort of know that.
I think it depends on where they put the Valk cameras.
Yeah, as always, you know, I'm not going to write Valk cams off. They are very useful, but I think you largely know where the push is coming from within the first 20-30 seconds of a round usually here. If they are trying a back push, you'll find out pretty quickly, and I just think Vigil could have been very useful against that.
I may be very wrong, but what I'm expecting is to see the Valk cameras placed in in piano, or around piano, as a way of tracking that roamer there and helping whoever tracking that attacker there and helping whoever the roamer is to then make an impact from there. So you don't need the vigil, you don't need to be sneaky, you don't need to do it himself. You can give him all the information he needs to make the right play without being spotted, without being stealthy like a vigil. But as it is, that's all a hearsay and that's all a guess because it's wrong, as every single defender is staying in the basement.
Obviously looking to win this by sheer volume of information, then getting the cams in there, although obviously no Maestro available as he has been banned out. We've got the alibi there, just Shockwave avoiding him carefully there, because if your drone goes through, don't forget it does scan your person if your drone goes through the alibi, so he has to be careful not to trigger that, and just some last minute remodeling there of the downstairs so that alibi can try to move in, but a lot of time being wasted here trying to get through that wall. And we go finally inside, so that will see the attackers now starting to mount up. Namia getting the holes opened upstairs, and with no roamers there to deal with him, he's going to start having a bit of a field day up in piano, I would imagine. They've got the flank watch in place so that he can be fairly comfortable, and he just starts to go to work with that skeleton key now, opening up the angles, and I'm sure it's only going to be a matter of time until he starts to get angles down onto players now that that garage door has been opened. Shockwave with the first kill onto Sully, so ace last game, no kills this game, and it's now the angles are wide open for the attackers.
Oh, there's his feet. Boom, Shockwave gets curved. Oh, and he gets maybe not Badger as well. Sticks his head straight up into that crosshair, and Joystick sticks his into Citizens as well. Kayak, it's your turn. You've taken the Jaeger. Can you pick up an ace as well? No, don't even get one. Edenity went from losing that attack the last time over to breezing it this time round, being a little bit more slow, a bit more cautious. Once they realized they didn't have to deal with any roamers, they had that solved.
Yeah, and I mean, I suppose it comes back to, you know, to that sixth pick again, potentially. We saw a Vigil on the lineup, and I'm not, you know, far be it for me to say that it would have changed the round, or, you know, it may or may not have done, but I think, as you said, as soon as they recognised that there were no roamers there, they just set up a flank watch on the stairs up from garage, and Namia went to work, opening up the floor, multiple angles there. When they then did try, I think it was an attempt at a rotate, then Sully was taken out, and it just, I think, handed a little bit too much control to Edenity on that one. So that brings us to 2 rounds apiece coming into the 5th round, and this will be the final attacking round for Edenity.
It's going to be an interesting one. So far, we had Edenity enter border second half with a 1-round lead, then lose the map. And then on
Defenders, protect your bomb.
Oregon, we had Boost enter the second half with a 1-round lead, and then lose the map. Both maps had to go to overtime for that to happen, though. Is that a sign of things to come? The defensive setup here, once again, for Boost, involves a Valkyrie, which, as you said last time, has not been the most impactful operator for them so far on any of their sites and any of their holds. Definitely agree with the fact that it perhaps should be changed to something different. Gave them the benefit of the doubt last round. Maybe they had something, but they didn't. So they lost. Do it again differently now, boys. Try and get yourselves that lead going into the second half.
Yeah, I mean, Valkyrie's not necessarily a terrible roamer. The MPX isn't, you know, the best gun in the game. She's, you know, reasonably quick. So with conjunction use of those cams, you could potentially play with Sully upstairs as well. You know, once the cams have been placed, that's Valkyrie's job largely done. So she's not a terrible idea for, you know, to at least a semi-roamer. But they have to keep them out of piano a bit longer than they did last time, and certainly not give up control of it like they did. So we see once again Edenity moving in very quickly through admin. Joystick already looking to push down the back stairs potentially. We've got Badger as Valkyrie just moving back onto site, and it looks like we've got a number of players on there. That being said, this doesn't look too pretty as we get stuck and have a connection failure.
Unfortunate. Hopefully it's just our observer, maybe not the server. If it was the server, then it's still not the end of the world, because the round hadn't really kicked off. We hadn't seen anyone fighting each other yet. Hadn't seen too much given away, so we might be able to let things through. Hopefully the players were still playing, in which case they are not slow, the momentum's not broken, we can rehost after that round. It will be a little bit unfortunate to not see that round, but at least we'll have the whole half locked in for a nice, comfortable rehost location. We'll have to see what the admins say, though, about whether or not the teams have to replay it, whether or not we can continue from where it is. And
just to come in there with just getting some feedback from medics that I think everybody dropped. I think it looks like it's been a server issue, so we will no doubt continue at the same score, which was 2-2, but we will obviously just await confirmation of that. But yeah, I don't know, do you think after a bit of a breather, Team Boost might come away from this and just think they need to try things a little bit differently on that location?
I think a break is the worst thing both these teams could have asked for right now, if I'm honest. I think they were both in a very comfortable spot on the way things were flowing, on the way they were winning and losing and working back and forth. I think pulling them out of that, letting them sit and be in their own heads too much, letting them think back and forth and rethink strategies or overthink strategies might actually end up hurting them both here. Whichever one can just keep a cool head and ignore this break and just go back in as if it was the normal round, will probably have a better start.
Absolutely. So I will we'll just have a short break from myself and Panky as we get all the players back in, and we will come back to you as soon as we can.
It's hard to keep smiling when you're closing every door. I'm trying to open. I tell you love you more, and you say it's broken. You make me weak. You're the one I seek. And I hate that I love you. I hate that I love you. If I could, and I would, come out your heart. Come out your heart. It's hard to keep smiling when you're closing every door. I'm trying to open. I tell you love you more, and you say it's broken. But it wouldn't mend mine.
You make me feel like home. You turn around.
Welcome back then, we've got the game rehosted. We were correct and everybody was dropped from the lobby. It looks like the spectator functions are working nicely, so you should see the score at 2 rounds apiece, and this will be Edenity's final attacking round. They breezed through the last one. They are attacking Garage Cafeteria again, so let's see if Team Boost can change anything up and do anything different. I think, you know, as we were saying last time, basically they really need to pay some more attention to Piano and to hassling Edenity upstairs, not just allowing them that quick control and trying to fight them from sight.
I do love these rehearsed options when they work.
Oh, they're great, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. So, as it has been said, and as we said before, no one died. The round hadn't really kicked off. Everyone DC'd, so it's the same site, same operators. Obviously, the bans are the same, and the squads locked in. What's most exciting now is how this round plays out. Now, the teams can obviously set up their defenses slightly differently if they wish. Don't know if they're going to do that here on the side of Boost. The attack lineup from Edenity came in through the admin office again, which they're going to do, I think, every single time. From there, things get a bit crazy. Now, of course, the last defense of this site, the previous round, round number 4, Boost stuck everyone in the basement and got rolled over. Going to have to put some more people above this time. The question is, how much of an impact can those people above make? Or will they just die quickly and easily, as we've seen previously?
I'd really like to see at least one, if not two, stationed on that very top floor just to avoid that admin rush. Just slow it down. I'm not saying give your life for it, but just slow it down, because Joystick's been going in there on the Ash Rush, straight into admin, straight down the stairs, and basically is at cafeteria door in 30 seconds. It's, you know, it's a crazy amount of map to give up so quickly. So I would just like to see a challenge upstairs this time.
Finding our routes. Yeah, just someone in a place. Don't let them get in. Don't let them get as much control as they like. Something to slow them down up there. We've seen that they can be held up there. We've seen that they can be kept in a spot where they are scared of shadows. You've just gotta time it right. But as it is, everyone's staying largely downstairs. Once again, they need to do something about the piano room controller, as you mentioned. When the puck gets in there, once the hatches get open, once the floor starts getting open, there's nothing the defenders on site can do about it. Oh, Citizen, that's not a destructible floor, buddy. Joystick isn't even aware that he's being shot in the bottom. As the concrete below him is soaking it up comfortably. Trophy system takes away that Ash charge though as he tries to breach it through the back of the white van. The Anna room still not quite in Identity control. They're choosing to go straight past it and get the white wall open though as the batteries are shot out. Shepard edges on up. Bandit does run forward. Didn't do it. Oh, they're going out. Smoke went straight out, but didn't quite see him, thinking he might have been tight around the right-hand side, but he wasn't. Shockwave though peeks down and gets curved for the first kill of the round. Minute and 12 to go. And we finally have a kill on the board. Sully looking up through the hatch that was open. He fell down to that previously. Heartbeat sensors going through. Now the floor's starting to open up. Citizen thinking about it, but Naomi has taken Sully out in the sight. And the laser is watching the door and he knows he can't go that way. Karzeka has it pinned and completely locked on in. Meanwhile, downstairs, one more defender is downed. Badger does finally get a kill for the defense, though, as he takes down Shockwave. Karzeka takes out Citizen, who thought he could challenge it all the same. He was wrong. There's more shots coming through. The pre-fire from Buck heads towards Yellow Stairs. Badger will fall to it, and as predicted, Edenity take that round with ease. As soon as they got control of that piano area, started opening the hatches and opening the floor, there's nothing that Boost really had left to challenge that. They just got walked over.
Yeah, they'd have been better off playing with 2, even 3 roamers upstairs and at least having the gunfights upstairs, because do you know what? Even if you lose them and then you lose the round with all your men dead upstairs, you've still lost the round anyway, because, you know, by the time they've got in there and opened it up, like you said, it was just systematic, really. Just, you know, one at a time, picking them off, no problem at all. But that said, Edenity come out of their attacking phase with a 3-2 advantage, so still not huge. You know, Boost keeping themselves nearly level, and they will go onto the attack now, and we will see a top floor hold first of all from Edenity, and straight away we will see the Vigil pick. Now, will that be changed out as we've seen previously? We've seen Vigil moved over to Valkyrie, but we will see Mute moved over to Valkyrie, and the Vigil will remain. So I, for one, am quite happy to see Vigil brought on this map and just see what he can do in a roam-friendly environment.
defenders. Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Nemia then just getting in there and getting those reinforcements up early. Karzeka, Shepard just opening those single windows on the 2 hits. So potentially just keeping an angle underneath them for anybody who wants to repel. You can even see the rope out there, so you can get a good idea where they're coming from. Unless they're clever enough to get it off to one side and disguise it with the wall. Nemia does not like the clock or several other objects and takes them out. Some possibly line of sight issues, but certainly not from the clock. I think he just didn't like that one. Nearly putting bullets into the Jaeger there. Got to be careful of that. You don't want any early damage for the sake of a drone, as important as they are. Out goes the Vault Cam. Now there is an IQ, so Badger will be have his work to do, but I'd expect him to go and find those Vault Cams and just bring them in. They can be extremely important external cams on Consulate, and Joystick is just going to basically prevent, with an excellent kill, Kayak approaching the building there. So that's the Lion without any EE1D strikes out, and great play so far to stop Team Boost doing exactly what Edenity did to them, and that is rushing in through admin and taking control of there. Excellent plays so far, and Karzeka and Joystick just setting up a crossfire onto those windows.
I do much prefer this admin hold from Boost over the one that this admin hold from Edenity over the one that Boost did. I also wanted to say earlier how Karzeka has had the banned Vigil against him on multiple occasions. Today, it's been let through, and we finally get to see him play it, so I'm excited to see what kind of impact he can make. And as you say, to start with, he's just hiding here in admin with Joystick. Joystick, of course, can be seen. The Vigil cannot. Shockwave is doing what he can to keep these players down in admin office. Citizen is a bit low. The grenade will go out from below toward that corner, but it won't touch anyone. There's no one actually there. Karzeka had moved. And Boost having a real issue getting upstairs here. Trying to get inside the admin office, or even inside the building properly, really. A lot of help missing on Citizen, a lot of help missing on their Blackbeard as well. Badger is pushing up the stairs again. Legion has decided to fall back deeper into the site now and use the hatch from below. Minute 12 to go. Badger's falling back away again. Boost just don't seem to know what to do here or how to get through this hold.
Nope, great setup from Edenity, and as you say, just sort of running out of ideas now, Boost, and they're pushing multiple operators from the same angles towards objective, and they could well suffer a double kill quite easily, but Curve moves in and gets the headshot onto Joystick, but Shockwave will trade out with Badger, and Karzeka getting the kill onto Citizen, so that will leave us 4 versus 2 in favour of Edenity. Vigil pops out on the Karzeka, that'll be his second kill getting Curve, and he obviously likes those guns, very powerful guns on Vigil, definitely a favourite, and we've got Sully as the last operator. Blackbeard now out on yellow stairs, and he's got it all to do. I don't think with 10 health here he's going to do much, I'll be honest. He's got the DMR, they know exactly where he is. There's just no challenge he can really make here.
No, they know where he is. They've thrown everything they can at him. They've still got smoke grenades. He's stuck very much in this position, and Shepard will finish him with a shotgun through the wall to make sure. Good round for Edenity. Very confident round too, and you can tell from the way they ended it as well. You don't, first round of defense, first round only up 3-2. As soon as you get it down to a 3v1, as soon as you know where he is, they just charged at him. You don't do that. You've seen people in this game, Shepard's done it, Citizen's done it, Sully's done it. They clutch 3v1s, they've clutched 4v1s, they've almost aced, and they have aced in some situations. But they were so confident in that round that they were happy to throw everything they had in that staircase, charge everyone towards it, push in as a group in a wave, and they knew they would come out on top against that Blackbeard. They knew they had that in the bag, and I think that translates to the entirety of this map. In terms of Edenity, they are confident and they are oozing it. They do now have to go down to the basement, and this might be Boost's chance to maybe shake things up and get something in the bag, but Boost attacking that upstairs site were very lost.
I don't want to... honestly, I feel like Edenity might have just won the match there. There just comes a point whereby it feels like a team breaks.
Defenders, protect
And
your bombs from being
that's just the feeling I'm getting from Boost. They might prove me wrong yet. You know, I hope we get more of a match out of this because it's been so close so far and really entertaining to watch. I don't want to see anybody get run over. But I just feel like that last attack just sort of signalled that they didn't really have much focus on where they were going, what they were doing. And they've struggled, and it just felt like that breaking point has been reached. And they maybe feel like they're onto a loser here. And I think Edenity are going to finish this off now, if I'm honest.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'm with you. I really think they do. I think this round will really make that difference too. If Edenity can get this, I see them running away with it. I see that being done. If Boost can actually do something though to hang on here, they may just do enough.
Things like this from Edenity, just getting so confident as to just crouch down there, prone, and go for the spawn peek from the doors. And they just, I don't know, it's just you get this sort of mental tug of war in games, and it just swings and it sort of ebbs and flows. And I just think it's gone in Identity's favour here, and I'm not sure that Team Boost feel confident enough on attack to turn it around. That said, let's hope they prove me wrong. There goes the Claymore as Namir runs out, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. He gets the kill onto Kayak, 5 versus 4. That takes Twitch off the board, and things just start to feel very difficult for Team Boost from here now.
That's why we see a lot of Team Fan Valkyrie here, and that's another reason why we see a lot of Team Fan Valkyrie here. Oh, and he continued for the second one. Oh, the tree is a little bit in his way, so he will fall down to curve there, but he's done his job. He's killed 2 very important operators. Thermite ability had already blown the garage door open, but still, big important kills, and those cameras are staying in the game. Sledge now pushing towards admin. The lion charge has gone off as well, I believe. Oh, Carl Zecker found napping, actually. He was on his camera. There's the lion charge. I heard the boom beforehand, and all that was used. Maybe not Badger. Still looking for the next one as he knows there's one more here. Joystick is that man hiding in the admin office, trying to burn as much time as he can. They are now even in numbers, but with every second they spend hunting Joystick here, they can't push the site. And that means he's doing his job. Badger gets into that small side office. More and more shots are just raining through random walls towards his position, but he can stay down. I think that camera saw him. I believe it did. Grenade gets pulled, thrown. It's close, but not enough. The flashbang actually lands directly on Joystick, but he does manage to stay hidden in the corner. Next grenade goes close, but won't quite either. There we go. He's tagged down. But with a minute left to go, Citizen finishes him off, and now they have to push the site. It is 3v2 though, so with a minute may be enough time.
And they've now got control elsewhere as well. Both defenders left on site, but we do have a smoke. The mirror will be dropped, and we've got both mirror and smoke left playing on site. Now, as you say, they've taken control, but it's taken them quite a long time to do that. Joystick's really burnt some time. It was unfortunate for them that Karzeka, as you said, was caught napping. Great players from the Valk, but they now have a difficult site push to achieve. And with a 2 versus 3, that number can be quickly evened up as it happens, and Shepard gets the kill onto Curve. So that leaves us in a 2 versus 2 situation. 15 seconds remaining, and they have to drop the hatch. The shots start raining in. Shepard gets the kill onto Badger. Shockwave onto Citizen with the Nitro, and what a finish. Fighting off the odds from Edenity, and that's sort of exactly what I was getting at before this round started. It just felt like that flow had changed, and Edenity were just very, very confident, and we're always going to turn around a situation like that.
They gave themselves no time to push that site. They forced themselves to come down these stairs. They forced themselves to push in through kitchen, which meant the 2 remaining players, who are big AoE players, Smoke and then the C4, to just fill the room with explosives and with crowd control and cut them to pieces. And as we said, there's Edenity getting the round. There's Edenity quite possibly running away with this. I got to admit, it's a slightly disappointing end because it's been so close all the way through, but that's also something to be proud of. Being that close for this entire series is fantastic for Boost, and if they can tap into some of that again and bring this game back, I would love to see it happen.
So coming into round 8 now, and feeling like potentially close to the end of what has been a fantastic match so far between Edenity and Team Boost. I'm sure a lot of you beforehand will have expected Edenity to maybe come in and run over this in quick fashion, but Team Boost have certainly made a game, and even if they don't manage to turn it around here, can certainly be very proud of what they've achieved today, and they can take a lot away from it as well, and I think they're going to come back stronger for it next week. So moving on then, so top floor hold, we've got Smoke just opening up the rotation into connector there, and then reinforcing next to it to stop those lines of sight being opened up from the two single windows. And it looks like some resources being expended in admin again. This was something that Edenity did extremely well last time, was to hold against the admin push that they used so successfully on attack, and let's see if Team Boost decide to change that up or not.
Attackers recover the diffuser. Attackers objective
There it is. The timer has begun. 3 minutes for Boost to fight for their lives. You checking for cameras outside. They don't want to be caught out by runouts again. There's that cat. In admin once more with joystick again. They held this firmly for a while. They are being cut off. Curve is at their escape point now. No one's actually pressuring them themselves. Into the visa goes Sully. What are your play here, Boost? How are you planning to make this a thing? You're going to open up the floor beneath the Jaeger. Don't quite see him. He manages to get out there. Jaeger puts the trophy system down now because he knows they're going to try and grenade him. They did it previously, and that's a nice retroactive use of it. They continue to make holes underneath the room, but none of them in the right places. And actually, Buck might lose his life to the Jaeger through his own hole. Does take a lot of damage, but does survive it, Sully. Minute 50 to go, and they are still struggling with these two. Citizen gets the first kill, and it's on Shockwave. Someone elsewhere. He has got up Spiral Staircase and is making an impact down the rest of the site. This is good for Boost. One man in connector, though, is thinking about challenging him. Not quite seen it. Curve still on this window. There's still two in admin, and they are happy to sit here and wait for Boost to come to them. They have no reason to move. Sully's now up on the windows. The drones are going in and catching these players' positions. The guys in Spiral Stairs are still being watched. The grenade actually blows up before it gets hit by the trophy system, but Joystick is low, not dead. He does take a lot of damage from those shots, though. Karzeka gets the kill onto Curve now, and it is even in way of attacks to defenders again. Sully, though, is very, very low from those pushes earlier on, and from the sprays back and forth with Jaeger, but he's not dead until now. Joystick takes him down and gives the defense the lead. Badger does spot the backside of Namia. Comes back to the middle. Pushes forward. Namia's thinking about it. He knows exactly he's there. He's waiting for it, but he will lose out. Namia gets out on top. Citizen trains Karzeka away, though, so it is still... Oh, 2v2 as Kayak gets onto Shepard. 2v2, then Joystick is low. Namia is full health. Citizen and Kayak looking towards admin because they know that at least one of them's in here. If they go together, they might be able to single him out. Flashbang won't hit him. Does force him to hide, though. Up on the box. Jaeger sprays one way. They know he's in the back corner. Where's the IQ backup? Kayak's coming in. Creeps around. Needs to be careful that flashbang won't hit him, but it does after he's got the kill. They do manage to take Joystick down, but with 15 seconds left to go, they have to find Namia and plant. They both come through the A door. The spray down is there, but it doesn't get either of them. The Legion Mine, though, will be in her leg. We'll start to plant that on through. Now there's a man in connector. Pre-fires on it through. Tags up and misses the kill shot. Same thing, though, is said for Kayak, as Namia is still alive. Goes back to looking towards the rotator way. Both players still inside that site, but he doesn't know that. He actually jumped out one onto the balcony now. He's aware of that possible play. Citizen behind the bomb. He didn't quite see it. Citizen hiding right behind it. Going to overheal himself up. They can hear this going off. Citizen knows, watching for it. He gets into the room. They peek on out. Citizen gets the kill, but they were both spraying him down, and Boost just about, with 3 seconds, I believe it was, before that plant went down, get the round in, and may still be alive here.
Great plays from Boost there. I honestly thought they were struggling to get into sight. There was about 45 seconds left on the clock. They made no real progress, and I just wondered how exactly they were going to achieve that. But they managed to clear admin very well. Worked in from there, left Nemir over the far side, and the rest was history. So that brings us back to 5-3, and another match point for Edenity. They will, it appears, defend top floor again. Having had so much success there previously, it's no surprise. But that being said, Team Boost did alternate and sort of switch up their attack very well there to take account of the two players that they encountered in the admin office last time. Interesting to see if they go with the same approach this time from Edenity, or whether they switch it up. Maybe just, they haven't brought a mirror, so they're not going to use a mirror to hold admin. I'm sure they will still want to at least waste some time in there, but will they commit 2 men to it, or will they try maybe playing that vigil of Karzeka downstairs and going on the roam to take any buck who tries to get in underneath again?
I was worried for Boost for a while there. They were taking a long time to clear out those admin pair and not really making any real play to make it happen. Just sitting back for quite a while. And then they all made it happen in the last couple of seconds, right when it needed to. Themselves going. The Identity defense though is going to go back upstairs. They seem to be happy with how that goes. And are confident that this time around they'll still be fine and still be able to hold it. Namio, I feel, got a little bit unlucky, I think, with his spray down in the doorway too. I think there was a body that blocked some of his shots, and the table leg did too, but he definitely did a lot of damage to the pair of those last 2 attackers as they walked on into plant. So definitely not needing too much to change in terms of potentially securing it.
Certainly looks like they're going to hold admin in numbers again. But will Team Boost decide to maybe push from the other side? There's the run out though. Shockwave getting the first kill onto Kayak, and that is a big kill, taking out the IQ before any of the vault cams can be taken. We've seen Nemir put this to good use before. I'm pretty sure that it was before any were taken, and he's already had 2 run out kills from vault cams. So will there be any more to follow, or if Team Boost can get inside the building quickly, that is going to be the only way to negate that. And the shots come in now from maybe Badger on that rotation, sorry, on the spiral stairs. Meanwhile, Shockwave gets the kill onto Curve, so that takes Twitch off the board. 5 versus 3, the odds stacking heavily in Identity's favour now, and Team Boost really do have it all to do here. Citizen working in from Visa, just going to blow that floor out again. Must be getting some comms. That was quite a specific shot underneath Karzeka's Vigil there, but it's, you know, where he's played before, he is damaged, but he's just going to hold back and keep his location in there because they still are not ready to give up admin yet.
And they don't need to. These holes in the floor are there, yeah, but they are free to move everywhere else. There's no one on the windows. There's no one pressuring other spots. They are still able to just move wherever they want around the holes. Yes, there's tags on Karzeka. There's tags on Namia. I'll admit, Badger, I think, thought he got the kill there, which is why he stopped firing and switched to his pistol, but either way, oh, Sully does get joystick from below. There we go. Takes the Jaeger out. So the attacking team starting to make moves. But there's the peek from Karzeka down through the floor, and he takes down maybe not Badger. Namia, meanwhile, has also rotated down, and is just holding the tight angle. But there is the window, the peek. He does so. Finds Sully, sees the last one here inside the teller's office, and the C4 through the wall is all it takes to end this game as a 6-3 scoreline for Edenity. But what a game it's been.
Absolute pure drama. I've really enjoyed it. I'm sure everybody watching has. That really has been a fantastic one. Just going backwards and forwards. We've seen 2 overtime maps there on Border and Oregon, and then coming to the decider. And in the end, Edenity just had the legs to get it finished.
That was fantastic.